going to make Chris Davis very mad right now. Just talking about how great it is.
You know what is wild is I'm going to be roughly 500 miles north from both of you guys, and also a lot farther east as well. I'm going to be in Ohio, and I think our lowest temperature in terms of highs over the course of the next 5 or 6 days is about 18 or 20 degrees. So.
That's amazing.
And no snow.
That is incredible.
So you guys can keep it. We've had enough there.
We're getting ice, snow in Memphis, and we have 2 snow plows. It's going to be very exciting trying to get home tomorrow. But right now, we've got X Mods on the Speedway, and in this division, you see Jesse Haney. He got his first ever win in the mini series back on Wednesday, the X15 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He rolls off into turn 1, and behind him, Jaime Torres in the 44 J2 out of Las Cruces, the OS Racing Engine, LG2, Chala's Woodfire Grill, and Auto Pros entry.
Rolling down the front straightaway, a 2-time winner now this week in the Shocker Hitch X Mod division out of Las Cruces in the AOS-powered AOS house car, the Hacienda Carpet and Tile sponsored entry. That was Nick Rivera. Behind him, I believe that's the 1S of Scott Bentz, the redheaded rebel out of Jamestown, North Dakota, in the Shocker Hitch sponsored number 1S.
Colby Williams down the back straightaway, the Myers Automotive Engine, Payzone Energy Service, Black Metals, LJ Haddix & Sons Construction IRP race car, 2-time winner last year on your screen. And behind him, a driver did not have any luck last night, going to look for better luck tonight. It's Leonidas Tanner out of Carlsbad, New Mexico, in the Joel King, Lonnie Ramirez, Stoney's Machine Shop, Big Chief race car 102. And behind him, I believe we just jumped around a little bit.
I think you may have missed Dusty Riggs.
I did miss Dusty Riggs. Look at that. No love for last year's Legend Kart Track champion here, Dusty Riggs in Kart 96R out of Hatch, New Mexico.
And I know what happened is because there is Jayden Christ, the other number 1, the other Scott
we jumped over,
entry. Yeah, exactly. So Jayden Christ out of Jamestown, North Dakota, making his way to the infield. We're going to pull about half these cars in the infield. So what we're going to do is pan back now to the front straightaway. Near the end of the front straightaway, the white and purple number 23B. The driver's going to be leading this first session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. That's one of the Racing Barrazas out of El Paso, Texas. No, that is not
Israel Ortega. The wheels are falling off, DJ. We have lost all control.
No, it's one of the Racing Ortegas, a vast racing family of Barrazas, Ortegas, and Gallardos down here. Israel Ortega out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 23B. He'll be followed by the 02. That is Deuce Teague, Deuce out of Las Cruces.
Rolling off into turn number 3, Tracy Denby out of Vidor, Texas, the Wills ATV, Bar 7 Grill, IRP race car. And right there behind Tracy Denby Jr., looking for better luck here tonight. That'll be the number 28T, and that'll be the Barrett Plumbing entry for Brian Barrett, the Sydney, Iowa driver. And he's had a tough week so far. Joining us here in the 24 behind him, DJ, that's going to be one of the McNutts, Shane McNutt out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the Fast Line Services Advanced Towing 24M.
Yeah, a few of the other drivers that are on the track now in this initial session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the X-Mod. Scott Morling's on the Speedway. He's in a different number 24. He's now coming out of turn number 4. There's a good look at Scott Morling on the Speedway, car that he just purchased fairly recently. We talked about J.C. Morton, the winner here 1 week ago. He'll be followed out by the 7cc, and that is going to be Connor Williams out of Sibley, Louisiana. Also on the track, I've got the 94 of Justin Garrett out of Deming, New Mexico. The 40 of Ruben Ortega on the Speedway out of Las Cruces. Jaime Torres out of Tortugas in the 44 JT, and Ben mentioned already the X15 coming out of turn number 4. A winner here just a few nights ago, that is Jesse Haney. So those are the drivers on the track for the first wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the X-Mods. And as Ben mentioned, if you don't have your Dirt Draft lineup set, we highly encourage you to do so. New subscribers, that deal continues to go on. Free t-shirt of your choice. Promo codes for Deathridge Optician. Shout out to Craig Deathridge for doing that. All the great folks at My Race Pass as well. You get a My Race Pass All Access promo code, a promo code for GottaRace.com and HuntTheFront.com as well. One of the really cool things I like that they're doing now too, Ben, is they've got these additional social contests. There, you see those down at the bottom of the screen when you set your Dirt Draft lineup. Sponsored contests from some different industry partners as well, and some open user created contests with no password needed. So a lot of really cool things, man. Dirt Draft just continues to grow and expand, and we joke about it a lot, and we give each other a hard time, but it truly is. It's a lot of fun to play, and we appreciate those folks coming on board here. Oh, and I see you just set your lineup over there.
I did for the mods. I got a lot of work to do. I need about 800 people not to play today to move up at all.
Did you, so for the mods or for the X-Mods?
All of the above.
Oh,
all of the
good for
above.
you.
Yep.
Good for you.
As the next wave of cars will make their way out to the Speedway in this Shocker Hitch X-Mod division presented by Border Tire, and Donovan Flores on the Speedway, 3-time winner last year here at Votto, the GRC Dirty Diamond Racing Chassis, Dynamic Racing Engines, Pine Top Construction, Fun Scooters, Power Sports. You gotta love Fun Scooter. The 58 behind him out of Yukon, Oklahoma, that'll be Chad Reed, the Western Flyer Race Car, Yeoman Racing Engine, Donco Plumbing, Valley Hope Addiction, Treat and Recovery, Steve's Performance Shop, number 58 for Chad Reed.
We're actually going to jump now to the front straightaway. There's a look at Chad Reed. I stand correct. We're going to jump to the car behind him in the number 14J, and that is going to be Jacob Hodges out of Lebo, Kansas. Looking to run the USMTS Modified Tour possibly this year is the driver of the 14J, making one last appearance here in that Murphy Agra LLC sponsored entry. Behind him, that's one of the Racing Barrazas. We know him, a good run last night for the driver of the number 23. That's going to be Hector Barraza out of El Paso, Texas, fourth in the track point standings 1 year ago. They'll be followed by the driver of the black number 27 rolling into turn number 3. That's going to be Colton Poland out of Grants, New Mexico, in a Darby Howard Shaw race car. Victory graphics on the side of it. The 3J behind him, 25 wins a year ago for the driver out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. That is Josh Kane. Josh Kane in the Cooters Garage sponsored 3J. He is the defending track champion in this division, and that's an old Josh Kane car on the track now. I found out, Ben, that number C or M77, that's Cameron Martin out of Los Lunas, New Mexico, a winner last year at the Sandia Speedway, fourth in their track point standings, and that former Josh Kane, number M77. There's Nick Rivera rolling down the front straightaway in the Hacienda Carpet and Tile sponsored powered AOS race car. Scott Bentz behind him. We mentioned him in the 1S. Bentz out of Jamestown, North Dakota. There's a good look at the redheaded rebel. And the 96 out of Hatch, New Mexico, an 8-time winner last year. That is Dusty Riggs, the defending Votto Speedway Park Legends champion. 23 top 10s and 27 races, all right here at FK Rodden's Votto Speedway Park. A couple other drivers sneaking out on the speedway as the C&D bonding green flag gets set to wave. There's a good look at the number 5, a Reese Solander, a podium finish here earlier in the week. Ben mentioned the 102 out of Carlsbad, New Mexico, Leonidas Tanner on the track. Defending track champion in this division, Donovan Flores from Las Cruces in the 07. Mike Rosales on the speedway in the number 12, and we've also got the 17 of Peyton Gallardo. Those are among the drivers on the track, and what I believe is probably going to be the final wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the X-Mods. Put about 10 of them out there the first time, and why not throw 20 of them out there the second time?
Sure, why not? All right, well, live timing and scoring is up now, and Nick Rivera, he's your current points leader here in this mini-series. The Shocker Hitch X-Mods presented by Border Tire. $1,000 to the champion in the division. The mods and the X-Mods pay 5 spots, and the Super Late Models, a $10,000 points fund, paying 10 spots. As right now, Rivera, hey, he's got 2 wins, DJ. He easily could have 3 or 4. He had a chance to maybe get to that Arizona differential by Nate. He had some tough pill draws, though, some tough heat races, but that AOS race car has just been excellent this year, and a first time that he's ever been to Hoker Trucking Victory Lane here at the Rio Grande Waste Surfaces Wild West Shootout, and he's doubled down on it.
Yeah, well, you talk about the tough pill draw that he has had, and there's a good look at the driver that stands atop the leaderboard. He didn't get a tough pill draw tonight. He may have to earn his win if he starts back in the feature, because he drew the pole for what's going to be Midwest Sheet Metal Heat Race number 3 coming up a little bit later on this evening. So no opportunities for passing points, or as many passing points for him starting on the pole, get points for getting the win. But more importantly, Ben, he won't be able to afford to lose any positions in that heat race as well. As we're going to shift gears now and move on into the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds presented by Rancho Milagro for their first wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps as those drivers get set to pull out onto this 3/8 mile semi-banked clay oval.
44 drivers signed in here today in the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro. They will be divvied up into 4 heat races, 2 B mains, and a 25-lap 2,000 to win feature. As the first car making his way out, cart number 30, that's Jamie Newton out of Carlsbad, New Mexico, the RK Bodies and Chassis Stony Speed Shop GRT. Riding behind him out of Amarillo, Texas, it's Alan Sharpenstein. 1 win a year ago for the MyRaceRack.com, Tucson Pull and Spot, Deathridge Optician, CT525 Powered Transport SRP race car.
Next driver on the speedway is going to be Jeremy Lacoe out of Lincoln, Arkansas, in the first class sponsored number 75, and he is actually behind this 75. That's going to be Alan Sharpenstein, who snuck around all of them, the Amarillo, Texas driver in the number 75. There's a good look at Jeremy Lacoe out of Lincoln, Arkansas, in the first class auto sponsored number 75.
Out of turn 2, Gene Nicholas out of Lowell, Arkansas, sponsored by his wife Candia. Got to thank the wife, GeneNicholasLLC.com, and Midwest Wrap Company sponsors on the Mullins-powered Hughes race car for Gene Nicholas. And behind him, the good doctor, Tom Georges, out of El Paso, Texas, the Georges Chiropractic and Wellness Center, Rick's Performance, AOS race car, AOS chassis, 28, 8th in last year's Vado Speedway track standings.
And another Vado Speedway Park regular will follow him out. That's going to be the veteran Jimmy Ray in the number 9. He lives just up the road in Las Cruces. And then behind him in the 4R, surprisingly still searching for his first win here this weekend, Ben, it's going to be Derek Ramirez out of Woodward, Oklahoma. 3 Wild West Shootout wins a year ago for the driver of the Ramirez Racing number 4R.
In the number 89 car, the black one over in turn number 4, that's AJ Diemel, 4-time winner last year, 1 in the mod, 3 in the late model in the White City Glass KS Engineering, Durham-powered MB Customs entry. And riding behind him in cart D25, David Tanner out of Wichita Falls, Texas, the 87 Automotive, Wichita Take Racing, Hatfield-powered MB Customs entry. Also out on the speedway in the set, we'll have Billy Wilker in car number 71 out of Idalou, Texas, the Bill Wilker powered Evolution chassis, Top Shelf Motorsports, Crest Motorsports, Date Motorsports. If you got a motorsports company, you might be on the side of that number 71 car for Billy Wilker.
My LLC is motorsports. Maybe I should be on the side of
Double J Farms Motorsports.
This should be Double J Farms Motorsports.
Racing those deer out there. I like where you're at.
That's exactly right. It's kind of like a deer, not to be confused like a kangaroo or a kangaroo. You know, sometimes a kangaroo, some folks say look like a deer on steroids.
Some people have pictures of kangaroos that are on steroids, and some people are terrified of them because they're part human, part kangaroo. That was quite the staff meeting today.
That is frightening. I mean, it is frightening.
Just remember, though, it's rock, paper, scissors, not paper, rock, scissors, and not scissors, rock, paper.
But do you know how to play?
Better than Shannon Babb and Mike Marlar, as I've heard from both the Marlar and the Babb families, and they both said that their families have been shamed forever that the fact that neither one of them on a live broadcast could play paper, rock, scissors.
Oh boy, that was quite a
rock,
moment
paper,
here
scissors, whatever
last night. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, paper. I always called it rock, paper, scissors.
I always called it another game I'll lose at. That's what I called it. You would think, you got 3 opportunities. You'd think you'd have a chance to win, but man.
Speaking of a chance to win, how about the Packers currently up 20-0 on the Cowboys? It is a shame that there is no online betting in the state of New Mexico. TV, Trent.
Did you guys ever really looked at a kangaroo? Like they're stacked.
I
Big
have
muscles,
never.
aggressive. They got some long claws.
Can we get Vic Hill and a kangaroo?
Kind of a hybrid type thing.
A Vicaroo. I like
a Vicaroo.
that.
That's what I said earlier. Yep, a Vicaroo. I'd like a Vic Hill kangaroo, in Hell in a Cell or something at Eldora.
DJ, I know your Dolphins lost yesterday, but Green Bay right now just hanging it on the Cowboys, and history repeats itself. As the next set of cars make their way out, the number 65, that's Tyler Davis out of Hayesville, Kansas, the FOE Racing. Gerber Collision and Glass, Central Spray Foam and Cement Lifting, Mullins-powered MK1 race car. Behind him, the 7G, preparing to run the USMTS Tour next year. That's Gabe Hodges out of Lebo, Kansas, the MK1 race car. Mullins-powered, the Hodges Farms and Dredging, Farm Bureau Financial, and Longbine Auto Plaza, number 7, 3 wins last year for that competitor.
Next driver on the speedway in the Wichita Tank Army contractor sponsor, number 20. He is the defending and now 5-time USMTS Modified National Champion. That's going to be the Rocket Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas, a 17-time winner a year ago. He'll be followed by the driver out of Owensboro, Kentucky. Glad to have him with us here this week, Paul Miles, in that black number 12.
And the number 88, no, that'll actually be the 02 behind him, of Tanner Mullins out of Wichita, Kansas. And the Mullins chassis, Mullins Racing Engine, Mel Hamilton Ford, San Juan Iron and Metal, Donna's Pullins patio entry, 10-time winner last year. And right behind Tanner Mullins, that will be the number 88 S car of Nathan Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico, the Vivado Group, Rio Valley Biofuel Transport, Hatfield-powered MB Custom 88 for Nathan Smith.
Next couple drivers on the speedway, Ben, a guy that's turned in a couple solid runs. Lady Luck maybe didn't deal him a good hand last night. Looking to find Hooker Trucking victory lane here this evening in the Red Eye Motorsports. Number 0, that's going to be Jake O'Neill out of Tucson, Arizona, 6th in last year's USMTS Modified National Point Standings, and he'll be followed out by a driver looking to get back at it here in 2024. It's going to be Lucas Schott out of Chatfield, Minnesota in the 69.
Rick Ortega will ride behind him right down the back straightaway in the BMS Racing Engine GRT, sponsored by Lift Arm Construction, Jones Construction, and Ballistic Majestic Race Trailers. And last night's feature winner, first time ever to Hoker Trucking victory lane for the driver out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, the car 58 of Gary Scott Christian. The panel chipping, Smith Equipment, True Pay Credit Card Company, Team 5 Enterprise, all sponsors on that 58X, the CDR race car.
A couple other drivers on the speedway. Lance Murray will be the next driver on the track coming into your screen there in the 19 SB out of Imperial, California. And one final driver on the speedway out of Hayesville, Kansas, now a two-time and defending USRA Modified National Champ in the 65. That's going to be Tyler Davis. And those are the drivers on the track for this second session of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here at Vado, Trenton.
Did you guys touch on the saucers right above the rock pile in turn 2 a little bit ago?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about it for a while. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Scott and his entourage obviously are checking out the races today.
Well, that's not the sausage-shaped one. That's the saucer-shaped one. And you want to get on that one, but the sausage one you don't want to get on, if I understand right, from Team Zero over there in Mooresburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, Trenton, just stay buckled down there, buddy. We don't want to see you get beamed up here at any point in the evening.
They might take him to Adrian, Missouri, and that's a great place if they abducted you and took you to Adrian. Cue DJ looking up somewhere in Adrian, Missouri. Right on cue. Trent, get ready, buddy.
I was just going to say we missed old Kenny McDonald there after, especially
the cars here that he drove.
That's probably the reason why he retired from racing. I tell you what. But again, big shout out to all the folks there. A lot of folks watching at Two Bears RV Park in Adrian, Missouri. We certainly appreciate them coming out and supporting us, and also a big shout out once again, one of my favorite places, their old Bird's Pecan Delights in Adrian, Missouri. Not open on Sundays, of course.
Well, yeah, up here in New Mexico, nothing's open on Tuesdays. The Two Bears campground, those bears are right now. Those bears are in hibernation because it's like negative.
They derived their name from a football team in Chicago. Trenton,
hey, Dustin, I love you, buddy, but don't make me bring Chad Wheeler out here and remind you that he's an Okie from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Listen, the guy makes one mistake, and you know.
Well, the next set of cars are coming out. We specialize in mistakes. It'll be Jay Sell out of Bethany, Oklahoma, the Sell Physical Therapy, Big Boy Motorsports. You go, big old boy. And the Ape Racing Engine Longhorn. One win a year ago for that competitor. And rolling out to the speedway behind him in car number 17. And which 17 do we think?
It'll be the Fito variety.
Yeah, the Fito. That'll be F17. One year, those cars are not going to look exactly the same. That'll be Fito Gallardo in the F17 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Trying to get his luck turned around here in the GR2 race car, the Gallardo Construction number F17.
And the Viva Auto Group sponsor number 2SS. The next driver on the speedway is going to be Mark Smith out of Anthony, New Mexico, one of the regulars here at FK Rod-Ends Vado Speedway Park, and he'll be followed by the Plattsmouth, Nebraska driver, the NW Transfer GRT sponsor number 01. That's Jacob Hobscheit, a four-time winner 1 year ago.
CJ Hulsey out of El Paso, Texas in the 77. The Sound Signal Systems Vanderbilt race car, sixth in last year's Vado Speedway track standings. And down the back straightaway in the white and blue, number 71, that'll be Philip Houston out of Odessa, Texas, last year's West Texas Raceway track champion. 5 wins this year last year on the way to the title. And the Hatfield Racing Engine contender chassis by 71 Fabrication, S&S Fishing Rentals, Double H Band 71.
In the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire sponsor number 131, that's the Royal Jones backup car. It's going to be Johnny Scott after possibly hurting a motor in his car, the 2018 USMTS Modified National Champ, and he'll be followed by the driver out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. In the number 60, it's going to be Dan Ebert. Ebert trying to find victory lane here this week as well, as a Lakeshore, Minnesota driver, 8-time winner 1 year ago in the 60.
DJ Shannon sits behind him, rolling into turn number 3. The Merced, California driver in the Jerry Shannon Racing, Shannon Pump Company, Pierre Perrette Farming, and Fiolo Farms. Propel Racing and Jimby Customs entry for DJ Shannon. It's going to get interesting now because they're splitting him. The 131 will drive to his outside. We haven't talked about that one. That's Royal Jones, track owner at the top of turns 3 and 4. You see DJ Shannon on your screen. Royal Jones, there we go. The proprietor here of the racetrack, the MB Custom Propel Racing Engine, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Rancho Malaga, Red Hawk Golf Club 131. Oh no, did Green Bay just score
yes,
again?
Yes, they did. 27.
Oh man, are they gonna? Like Stephen A. Smith loves the crying Cowboy fans. I think we may see it. I think it's coming. It's bad enough. It's 27-0, Trenton. Yep. How about that right now? The Cowboys just getting torched at home with 1:50 to go in the second quarter.
That's 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row for the Packers, right?
Oh, Jordan Love is just a stud now. It's comical how good their quarterbacks are. It's also almost comical how good this modified field's been all week, DJ. We really thought Cade Dillard was going to get that Weir's Machine 5 or more bonus for $15,000. He won the first 3, and then the luck went sideways, and he's going to try to bounce back tonight and get one more win on the week, though. It's been a good week in the desert for Cade Dillard, but really on Wednesday night, that's where it all went sideways. You got to think maybe that car got bent a little bit in that mashup over in turns 3 and 4.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I want to point out as well, CJ Halsey, who's going down the back straightaway, that Mario Kart themed number 77. We saw him last year for the first time. It was his first year in a modified. I found out an interesting piece of information from our very own Adam Martz last night.
Okay.
So Adam was talking to CJ Halsey, and again, that's him. He's just in front of that car. Nope, he's just in front of the other 131 on your screen. Now he's just behind the 131. Where did we go? We lost CJ. Where did you go? He's pulling in the pit area. There he is. But anyway, CJ Halsey, a two-time winner. He's a Golden Driller holder, two-time Tulsa Shootout winner in his respective go-kart
Did you know that CJ's pretty good in the 305 sprint car, too?
Yes, he is.
He's worked his way from the 305s over to the modifieds, and CJ was hanging out. We had a little camaraderie last night, and got to talk to CJ after the races, and, man, can't say enough about the local racers here, the staff, just everybody. We've had a fantastic time, and hard to believe round 6 is here today. And glad that Mother Nature for these final few rounds have been race fans, has been a race fan. As last weekend it was a challenge, but I think it was a challenge everywhere in the country, and we're going to wrap things up on a strong note here today. As I believe we're going to get set now, DJ. It's going to be Swift Spring Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. And make sure to get your dirt draft lineups in. They will be locking up shortly after we wrap up qualifying. And you see right there. And, yeah, I mean, I might be 200th, but I am 235 in front of Dustin Jarrett in dirt draft right now.
You know what the great thing is with just one swipe of my hand, I can mute your microphone anytime I want to.
You would make a lot of people happy. As out right now, you see it, get your dirt draft lineups in. It's been a lot of fun. And, DJ, when we get ready for Speed Weeks, Clint Dahl from Dirt Draft's already told me they're going to have some Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series funness going on for the staff as well. Get your dirt draft lineup in, sign up. New subscribers get a free t-shirt. We don't have any of those t-shirts, and we've been on Dirt Draft forever.
Yeah, come on, Clint Dahl and Dirt Draft. Hey, again, I picked 2 guys here on Wednesday. I set my lineup early where they're very busy days. I picked 2 guys that didn't race. Who actually, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Well, let's go and get set for Swift Springs qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Your first qualifier will be Morgan Bagley out of Longview, Texas in the 14M, the 250 of Walton Kyle Jr. out of Las Cruces, and the 11 of John Kirby out of Russellville, Arkansas. Morgan Bagley, the P&W Sales, Precision Trailers, Billy Bob's Repair and Tire, P&W Ironworks, Integra Shocks and Springs, Midwest Sheet Metal, Day Motorsports, Clements Powered Rocket XR1, 5th in last year's Comp Cam Super Dirt Series standings. Meanwhile, local driver 250 will be Walton Kyle Jr. out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the Sisbaro Buick GMC, American Document Services, Dentworks, Fastlane Services, AOS Powered, Masters Built, and then John Kirby. He's made some big gains this week in that new Longhorn race car out of Russellville, Arkansas. Construction Resources Group, Kirby Specialties, Eagle Lake Farms, Clements Powered Longhorn for John Kirby. Your first 3 qualifiers in Swift Spring qualifying presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze.
So 13, I had it written down, is it 13,889, I believe, is the quick time for the week.
Yep.
$1,000 going up to the overall quick qualifier for the week. I don't know that we're going to top that today.
No, and it'll be the Rio Grande Waste Services Shock the Clock Challenge, $1,000 for the fastest lap of the week. Thank you, Larry Heat, for that added money.
Absolutely, and I'll hear from Larry a little bit later on this evening as well, talking about the 2025 version of this event. Mo Bags, 15.567, lap number 1. Walton Kyle Jr., 16.663. John Kirby's qualified well here these last couple events. He now goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 1.5.254. Morgan Bagley's second lap time, second quick, 15.312. Walton Kyle's second lap time, 16.663. He is third quick, and John Kirby raises the early bar here in Group A qualifying after this first trio of cars. That time to beat is 1:4.993.
Up next, Mikey Kyle out of Westlake, Louisiana, Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota, and Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois in the B5. Mikey Kyle in the Golf Cars of Louisiana, Ultra Outdoor, JJ Motorsports, Cornette Powered Longhorn by Mikey Kyle. And he'll be joined by the 19 of Dustin Sorensen coming to us out of Rochester, Minnesota, the Heavy Hitch, Sorensen and Sorensen Painting, Paulson Rock Products, Dusty Construction, Altenberg Construction, Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn, the 2021 USRA National Champion, the 2022 USMTS Champion of the B5 of Brandon Shepard, 4-time World of Outlaws Champion out of New Berlin, Illinois, the SRR Longhorn Factory, Drive, WMVT.com, Bill Stein, Coleman Farms Racing, Riggs Drilling Solution. car B5.
Mikey Kyle going to check in second quick on lap number 1. Now Dustin Sorensen goes second fastest, just 2/1000ths of a second off John Kirby, and Brandon Shepard third quick on his first lap. We'll see if he has anything for him on lap 2. Mikey Kyle's second lap time a little better. He's now third fastest, 15027 his best lap. Dustin Sorensen to the top of the leaderboard with a 1:4.811, and Brandon Shepard not able to top him. Sheppy goes second quick with a 1:4.901. So the top 3 has been shuffled. It's now Dustin Sorensen, Brandon Shepard, John Kirby after 3 cars.
Up next out of Bend, Oregon, it's Tomas Hunziker in the Certainty Day M1 Roofing and Siding, Spirit Field Racing International, SRS Distribution, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1. He's going to be joined by the 7T of Drake Troutman out of Heinemann, PA. 21 wins a year ago for the Wheeler Fleet Solutions, Chris Bragg Motorsports, RFI Resources, Cliffs Goodyear Auto Service, Finish Line Outdoors, Clements Powered Longhorn. The 2020 Ultimate Northeast Super Late Model Champion was Troutman, and Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba. He's on the Speedway, an 8-time winner last year. Former Eldor Speedway Track Champion, the G-Style Transport, Dryden, Collins Brothers Tow, and Keewatin Truck Service, Penske, Weisner Trucking, Derek Sandblasting, Vic Hill Sniper for Ricky Weiss.
So Tomas Hunziker will be the first driver to trip the trigger. He is 6th quick on lap 1 with a 1:5.446. Drake Troutman goes 7th quick on his first lap, 15:944. And Ricky Weiss's first lap time, he does not trip the trigger. May need to check the transponder on Weiss's number 7. Hunziker's second lap a little better. He'll move up to 5th quick, 1:5.265. And now Drake Troutman goes 5th quick with a 1:5.126. Second time around for Ricky Weiss. Nope, he does not. He does not hit the scoring loop there, so they're going to pull him down to the inside of turn number 4. Get J3 to check the transponder on that black number 7. They may send him out with a pair of cars coming up next.
How about Dustin Sorensen? He's another driver throughout the week. He's got better and better, preparing for that Rookie of the Year run with the not the Lucas, well, the World of Outlaws Case Late Model Series. That new Longhorn race car, and they're going to be hitting the road. There's a lot of exciting rookies. They're going to be on both national tours this year, and that's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. But Sorensen, man, you got to think that's going to help those guys as they head to Speed Weeks to get 6 races and 2 practice nights under their belt.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, Sorensen is an unbelievably talented driver, right? He's accomplished a lot already in his career. He's the 2022 USMTS Modified National Champion, made the move up to the late model ranks last year, and I think getting him out there on the road is only, as we've seen with a lot of drivers, it's only going to further improve his career. As they've checked the transponder on the Dryden Performance Sniper number 7 of Ricky Weiss, and we'll give him his 2 qualifying laps now as the driver originally from Headingley, Manitoba, Canada, now out of Monterey, Tennessee on the racetrack. 8-time winner a year ago, including the 2023 Butterball Wooldridge Memorial down there at Richmond, Kentucky. He wheels off turn number 4 and checks in 5th quick, 1:5.079, so 1:5.079. First time around for Ricky Weiss. He's shooting for a 1:4.881. That's the time to beat for Dustin Sorensen after 9 cars. Weiss's second lap time, he improves, man, a good lap. He jumps up to 2nd quick, 1:4.882 for Ricky Weiss.
Up next, Don Shaw out of Ham Lake, Minnesota in the 42, the 777 of Pete Vargas out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and the E85 of Jason Strand out of Portland, North Dakota. Don Shaw's 6-time winner this year in the Shaw Trucking Blaine Brothers EMR, 6-time winner last year, I should say, EMR, Lube Tech, Dane Oil, West Bay Leasing, Structural Buildings, Vic Hill Powered Capital Race Car of 2017, was Soto Late Model Series champion. Pete Vargas out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the Rocket Yeoman Powered Whitman Trucking, Auto Pros Repair, Sales, Detail, and Performance Entry, and joined on the Speedway by the E85 of Jason Strand out of Portland, North Dakota, the Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, North Dakota Corn Council, ChristianCarsOnline.com, Victory Diesel, Performance Auto, all sponsors for Jason Strand's E85.
Once again, Dustin Sorensen, the time to beat with a 1:4.811. Don Shaw comes off corner number 4. Good lap, 4th quick, Ben, 1:4.919. Pete Vargas will wheel the 777 down to his first lap. He is 11th quick, and the first time around for Jason Strand is good enough for 10th fastest. Let's see. Oh, Shaw washes up the track coming off corner number 4, scrubs off speed, so he will stand on lap number 1, a 1:4.919, and I do believe Jason Strand may get another lap. He doesn't. Pete Vargas improves on lap 2, surprisingly. He is 11th quick with a 1:6.850, and yeah, Jason Strand, the Portland, North Dakota driver in the E85, he had his second qualifying lap impeded by the 777, and so he will get one more qualifying lap. Jason Strand been with us here for a couple years now. I believe he's actually going to go up, the irony, he's going to go up and run Don Shaw's races at Central Arizona Speedway, the early thaw here in just about a week or so. He got a second place in one of those events last year. Strand's second lap time, 8th quick, 1:5.143. So after 12 qualifiers, Dustin Sorensen, Ricky Weiss, Brandon Shepard, your top 3.
Up next, Kent Rosevear out of Yuma, Arizona, the 02, the 28 of Jimmy Whistler out of Otis, Oregon, and the 18 of Chase Young Hands out of Manhattan, Kansas. Kent Rosevear in the ProTech Fleet Service, Jack Meadow Racing, Gordy Speed Center, Performance Bodies and Parts, custom powered Longhorn, one winner a year ago, and that came right here at Vado. Jimmy Whistler in the number 28W, the Whistler Investments, all-purpose storage, Whistler Construction, MS Shock Therapy, Vic Hill powered Rocket XR1, and the 18 on the Speedway of Chase Young Hands out of Manhattan, Kansas, the Bozard Ford, Shopbook Racing, Paulson Rock Products, Stussy Construction, Sunoco Race Fuels, Grant Petroleum, Kaiser Manufacturing, Clements powered MB Custom for Chase Young Hands.
Once again, Dustin Sorensen, 14.811, the time to beat. Kent Rosevear, 11th quick, his first time around. Jim Whistler, he goes 11th quick on lap number 1, 1:5.559. And Chase Young Hands first lap, he's 11th quick, can't make it up, 1:5.428. We'll see if any of them can improve on lap 2. Rosevear does not. He'll stand on lap 1. He'll be 13th quick right now. Whistler does not. He'll be 12th fastest, 1:5.559. Young Hands does. He jumped up 2 spots to number 9, 1:5.217. So 15 cars have attempted a lap here in Group A. Dustin Sorensen still the time to beat with a 14.811.
Up next will be Bryson James out of Albany, Oregon, the 13, the 157 of Mike Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee. Bryson James, 16 wins a year ago in the Longhorn Shepherd Racing Engine, Schramm Motorsports, Schramm Brothers Excavating, James Gang Pizza, Northwest Platinum Trucking, and Donofrio Skyline Ford entry in the 157 of Mikey Marlar out of Winfield, Tennessee. 2-time Wild West Shootout champion and 2018 World of Outlaws champion, Skyline Motorsports, Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Massey Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto, Salvage, Petrov Towing, Browns Heavy Equipment, and VP Fuels. Clements Powered Longhorn, Mike Marlar won 12 events in 2023.
Still looking for that first win in 2024 is Marlar, a former Wild West Shootout champion. Bryson James goes 12th quick on lap number 1, a 1:5.430. Marlar comes off corner number 4. Good lap bend, second quick, 1:4.819. He is just 8/1000ths of a second behind Dustin Sorensen. Bryson James, second lap, a little better, 13th, 1:5.326. And let's see if Marlar has anything for Sorensen on lap 2. He does not. Second quick, his best lap, again, 1:4.819. So Dustin Sorensen, Mike Marlar, Ricky Weiss right now, your top 3 with 2 drivers left in Group A.
And one of them's chasing over $100,000 here tonight. That's Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois, the Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Massey Valley Transportation, Hooker Trucking, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, a 34-time winner last year. He's already got 4 this year. And then Sam Mars in car 28 and out of Menominee, Wisconsin, the Pro Power Racing Engine, MB Custom, Deputy Enterprises, Vite Specialty Contracting and Waste Management, Kai Chevy Town, CMD Shocks, and T.O. Sins Plumbing, all sponsors for Sam Mars with 1 win in 2023.
All right, let's see if either of these drivers has anything for Dustin Sorensen. Bobby Pierce, you heard him saying pre-racing, he laid down a good qualifying lap. 6th quick on lap number 1, 1:4.931. Sam Mars brings the Deputy Enterprises 28 off corner number 4. He is 17th quick on lap number 1. Pierce adjusts his line just a little bit on lap 2. Trying to move up from 6th, and he does. 3rd quick, 1:4.869 for the Oakwood, Illinois driver. Sam Mars was 17th quick on lap number 1. Lap 2, he bumps up to 15th fastest with a 1:5.346. That unofficially will wrap up Swift Springs Time Trials presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze for Group A, the first half of the field. And here's a look at your top 10. Dustin Sorensen sets the quick time with a 1:4.811. Mike Marlar was second fastest with a 14.819. Unofficially, those 2 drivers will start on the pole of heat races 1 and 2, starting alongside Bobby Pierce in the 32, as he was the 3rd quick qualifier in Group A, and then Ricky Weiss was 4th fastest with a 1:4.882, followed by Brandon Shepard, Don Shaw, John Kirby, Mikey Kyle, Drake Troutman, and Jason Strand rounding out the top 10.
We get set for Swift Springs Super Late Model Qualifying presented by Scriven Motor Speedway. Group B, this will make up heat races 3 and 4, and your first qualifier will be BJ Robinson out of Bossier City, Louisiana, the 1R, the 73 of Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas, And the 15S of Clayton Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. BJ Robinson, the DP Motorsports, David Peterson Contracting, Andrew Towing and Recovery, FiberTech Laser Cutting, Comprehensive Motorsports, and TW Racing Products, all sponsors for BJ Robinson, third in last year's Comp Cam Super Dirt Series Super Late Model standings. He'll be joined by the Brian Doherty Motorsports, number 73 of Rodney Sanders, now a 5-time unprecedented and defending USMTS national champion out of Happy, Texas. 17 wins last year for that driver. He's in the J. Dickens MB Custom, Brian Doherty Motorsports, Huey Brothers Well Service, Kaiser Manufacturing, Jim's Automotive, Keith Hammett Trucking and Construction, Homer's Auto Repair, VP Racing Fuels, and Boswell Oil Car 73. And the 15 car of Clayton Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana, the Lucas Oil, Advanced Powder Coating, FiberTech Laser Cutting, ProGlow, AccuForce, Dyno and Tester, Sunoco Race Fuels, Bill Stein, R&R Farms, Clements Powered, Black Diamond. 10th in last year's Comp Cam Super Dirt Series standings was Clay Stuckey in car 15, your first 3 qualifiers in Swift Springs Group B.
Absolutely. You mentioned presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Trenton Berry, go ahead.
Hey, quick update from down here. Bobby Pierce said he didn't feel very good right there. He said, I don't know, we're going to have to work on this thing a little bit. So.
He's still third fastest.
I was just going to say.
He's going to start front row of the heat race.
And if he didn't feel good, that could be trouble for the competition as these drivers are on the qualifying clock. Don't forget Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze coming up February 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, headlined by the richest sport compact race in the world, $20,000 to win. Also 2 late model shows for the Southern All-Stars as well. BJ Robinson lays down a 1.5-1.58 his first time around. Rodney Sanders will go second quick, 15.457. Clayton Stuckey now goes to second quick with a 15.182. Again, this is the first trio in Group B on the racetrack. BJ Robinson, second lap, a little bit slower, 1.5-1.52. Rodney Sanders, second lap, also not as good, and Clayton Stuckey does not improve on lap 2. So after 3 cars in Group B, BJ Robinson sets the early bar at a 1.5.158.
Up next, Cody Laney out of Torrance, California, the 32. The 86 of Kyle Beard out of Truman, Arkansas. The 60 of Terry Carter out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. Cody Laney, the Longhorn Cornet Powered, Pete Van Eiderstein Racing, Bart Hills Harley Davidson, Eibach, Integra, and Lead Spriggs, CPD Racing Shocks, number 32B. 4 wins last year. They all came in a modified for the California racer. Kyle Beard, the 2-time Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champion. The Man Motorsports, Gary Beard Trucking, as we're going to bring out the mid-wedge sheet metal caution, as it looks like Laney's transponder perhaps not picking up. Kyle Beard will be in this set. He finished second in last year's Comp Cam Super Dirt Series standings. 5 wins a year ago for the Man Motorsports, Gary Beard Trucking, Autocraft, Foster Bin Construction, 4S&J Incorporated, KB Trucking, Swift Springs, Clements Powered, Black Diamond, and joining Mama Speedway, Terry Carter out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. The Black Diamond, Clements Powered, Fort Signs and Promo, Good Guys, Alden Auto, and Hollywood Graphics entry. That'll be your next 3 qualifiers in Swift Springs Group B, presented by Screven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models, presented by Black Diamond Race Cars.
That was not a transponder issue on the 32B. I was trying to see what they were doing down there. It didn't look like they were twisting a fuel cap back on either. They were back a little bit farther on that race car. Let's see if we can get an update from that. See if maybe Trent can get an update from J3 down there. BJ Robinson, again, the early time to beat after 3 cars here in Group B with a 15.158. See if anybody in this trio has anything for the Shreveport, Louisiana driver. As the first driver to trip the trigger will be the 32B of Cody Laney, 4th quick, 1.5.831. Kyle Beard checks in 5th quick. And Terry Carter goes to 3rd quick on lap 1. Talked to Terry back in the pit area earlier, man. What a good dude. One of the mainstays here at the Wild West Shootout. Just always just super excited to be here. Cody Laney, 3rd fastest on his 2nd lap, 1.5.214. Kyle Beard also improves on lap number 2, and Terry Carter goes up to 2nd quick.
Let's go.
After 6 cars. That's right. Way to go, Terry. The Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta driver, 2nd quick with a 1.5.160, and he is just 2 1/1000ths of a second off BJ Robinson. TB, what do you got?
Yeah, we're going to roll him right up here. I'll get him stopped, but they had transponder issues. They just put a second one on there for time trials, and they just tell them to go check it when they get back to the pit.
Trent, you did a good job. You're doing a good job getting those guys stopped down there in the exact spot.
He does it all.
Not anybody could do that.
Up next, it'll be Garrett Albertson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 58. The 82 of Ian Whistler out of Otis, Oregon. And the 10 of Caden Honeycutt out of Bridge City, Texas. Garrett Albertson, the Bill Sports Shop, Romer Machine and Welding, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Nutrient Ag Solutions, Midwest Sheet Metal, Sunoco, Lucas Oil, Mitchell Ranch, Burt Babuda, Swift Springs, Clements Powered Longhorn. One win for that driver last year, and that came in the Ronnie Adams Memorial at Boot Hill Speedway. Meanwhile, we'll see Ian Whistler on the racetrack, the number 82 out of Otis, Oregon, the Vic Hill Racing Engine, Rocket Chassis, Meredith Lodging, Knotworks Construction, RK Construction, Otis Market and Fueling, Whistler Investments, and All-Purpose Storage Entry. And your third qualifier, Caden Honeycutt, the Asphalt Pro, getting in the dirt here this week. Glad to have him here with us, a 5-time winner last year between dirt and ARCA West. All the pro late models start on pavement. Advanced Performance Engine, Longhorn Race Car, Speed Ranch, Butler Built, RTR Material, Bill Stein Supreme Vinyl Works, all sponsors on that number 10 for Texas racer Caden Honeycutt.
Indeed, again, B.J. Robinson, the time to beat after 6 cars in Group B with a 1.5.158. Each and every driver in this trio has taken the green flag. The first driver to get the qualifying lap will be the 58 of Garrett Albertson. Albertson goes to the top of the leaderboard with a 1.5.015 on lap number 1. Ian Whistler is 8th quick on his first lap, and Caden Honeycutt goes 9th quick on lap number 1. Albertson now trying to get in that 14-second bracket on lap number 2, and does not. Second lap not quite as good, so he'll stand on a 1.015, and the motor may have just let go on Caden Honeycutt's number 10. Ian Whistler's second lap also not as good, and a big puff of smoke just came out from underneath that number 10, and that is a tough break for the driver that hails out of Aledo, Texas. Trenton?
Honeycutt was not under power rolling by the front stretch there, so obviously kicked it in neutral.
No fluid, but still did not look good. As Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas leads the next set out, and the Rocket Clements powered Best Performance Motorsports, Bulk Material Lift, Base Racing Fuels, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, Pee-wee's Record Service, Roberts Beat Company, JRR Trucking, Twisted Tech Entry, 3 wins last year for that competitor. Shannon Babb out of Moeca, Illinois, in the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Petrov Towing, Donnelly Trucking, Dynagrow Seats, CJI Piping, Keebler Ultra Oil, and Getty Landscaping, all sponsors in that VP Racing Fuels Longhorn number 18. And on the speedway with them, it will be Jake Tim. No, scratch the up. Jake Tim right there in the 49T. That driver coming to us out of Winona, Minnesota, in the Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, Herco Environmental, GorillaMill.com, Oak Ridge Fabrication, Mesilla Valley Transportation, car 49.
Ben Turbo goes to the top of the leaderboard in Group B, 14.9 flat. Jake Tim 4th quick, Shannon Babb 3rd quick. Turbo second lap, not as good, doesn't matter. That's the new time to beat, 1.4.900. Shannon Babb to second, 1.4.999. We'll see if Jake Tim can go to 3rd, and he does not. Second lap not quite as good, but he's still 4th fastest. And wow, smoke out from underneath the 49 of Jake Tim as well. Interesting. Trenton will get you on that one. So Tyler Erb now the time to beat in Group B after 12 cars with a 1.4.900.
Up next will be Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the 2S. The 3 of Keiko Perez out of Chihuahua, Mexico in the 97 of Kate Dillard out of Roebling, Louisiana. Stormy Scott in the Category 5 race car, Clements Racing Engine, Rancho Milagro Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Eagle Moon Farms, top of the world ranch number 2. 2 wins a year ago for the 2S. And the 3 of Keiko Perez in the Shamrock Racing Team, Mitchell Suspension Engineering, Grupo Anbeck, 4-leaf ADC Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket XR1, and Cade Dillard, opening round winner at the Wild West Shootout this year out of Roebling, Louisiana, the S&S Fishing and Rentals, Chrome Farms, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Production Jars, Johnsville Company, Strength Roofing and Siding, Bill Stein, Joel's Auto Sales, and Nickel Stores, all sponsors for Cade Dillard.
Good look at Keiko Perez on your screen. The first driver to trip the trigger will be Stormy Scott in the 2S, and he goes to the top of the leaderboard, 1.4.854. Not quite to Dustin Sorensen's lap time in Group A yet. Keiko goes 12th on lap 1. Kate Dillard is 5th with a 1.5110. Let's see if Stormy is able to top his first lap, and he does not, but he still lays down a good one, 1.4854. That's the time to beat Keiko Perez. His second lap is not as good. He'll stand on a 1.5583. And Kate Dillard now to the top of the leaderboard, Ben, with a 1.4.832. So we are just shuffling the top of this one. It's now Cade Dillard, Stormy Scott, Tyler Erb, your top 3 in Group B.
Final 3 qualifiers will be Colin Weinbarger out of Corbett, Oregon, the 14S, the 6 of Kyle Larson of Elk Grove, California, the 88 of Chance Man out of Newport, Arkansas. You can do this, DJ. Colin Weinbarger, 21 wins a year ago across 4 divisions, the Longhorn Clements Powered, Strand Brothers Excavating, Swan Island Sheet Metal, Reed's Automotive, Checkered Flag Asphalt, and W Platinum Trucking Entry, and the 6 of Kyle Larson. He's in the Flow Racing, HinderCars.com, Bill Stein, D&A Marine, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Hot Rod Septic Treatment, Mesilla Valley Transportation, JVI Group, and American Racing Pro Wheels, Cornet Powered Longhorn, and Chance Man in car number 88, the Clements Powered Black Diamond Man Motorsports, Gary Beard Trucking, Mirtech Harvest Centers, and New Vision Graphics Entry out of Newport, Arkansas.
Colin Weinbarger goes 9th quick on lap 1. Kyle Larson is 12th fastest his first time around, and Chance Man will Check in 18th quick in the 88. Second lap time for Corbett, Oregon's Colin Weinbarger. Not as good. He'll be ninth fastest, 1:5.172. Second lap time for Kyle Larson. He goes to the top of the leaderboard, and that's the fastest lap turn by anybody tonight. 1:4.765. What an improvement.
From 12th to 1st. Wow.
Holy cow. On lap number 2, Chance Mann's second lap is better also. He is 17th quick, 1:5.787. And Trenton Berry, the second to last driver on the track here in Swift Springs Time Trials presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. Kyle Larson lays down the quickest lap of the night with a 1:4.765.
Man, that's not something you see a whole lot of, especially that late in the round. Caught up with Jake Tim. He said he didn't notice or feel anything out of sorts with the 49.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of smoke out of that race car, so hopefully nothing too serious, maybe a little bit of an oil leak, and that is going to wrap up Swift Springs qualifying presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze. As you see Kyle Larson's car being teched down there, as he is your fast qualifier of this Group B and of the day, 14.765. And he will start on the pole for heat race number 3. DJ, it's worth mentioning, with all the qualifying for the week over, 13.889 by Garrett Alberson back from Wednesday, or Friday, I believe, actually. That'll be the fastest time of the week. He'll get $1,000 from the Rio Grande Waste Services Shock the Clock Challenge. Congrats to Garrett Alberson for the fastest time of the week, and thank you to Larry Hink and Rio Grande Waste Services for all they do to support this event. We're going to step aside. Thanks to marketing partners. We got a little track prep coming up. We'll have a break here before we get set for opening ceremonies and racing action. Race fans, check out all the great vendors back here. Pick up the event t-shirts, grab you something to eat or drink. The white tent back on vendor row. They got chairs and tables and TVs in there. Make yourself at home. We'll be back in just a few minutes here to FK Rod-End's Vado Speedway Park on the Flow Racing broadcast presented by Coltman Farms Racing.
Great fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, Fantasy Racing Edge.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and racers from all across the country since 1978, and they are the home to Hoosier Tire, Ohio Valley, and Octane Race Products. Stop in and shop all of the nation's top brands, including Winner's Performance, Willwood Brakes, Bill Stein Shocks, Hyperco Springs, Maxima Race Oils, Impact Safety Equipment, along with hundreds of others. You can also visit Dave Poske's Performance Parts online at Posky.com as we ship UPS and truck freight daily. Dave Poske's Performance Parts, serving the Ohio River Valley and racers all across the country since 1978.
In the market for custom race shirts? Struggling with who to call? Look no further. Impact Race Gear's team of top-notch artists at Next Level Printing make it easy to see that Impact Race Gear has the right combination for simple, awesome race shirts. We provide shirts and merchandise for the entire motorsports industry, from late models to sprint cars to modifieds, dirt or asphalt. Just take a look at the top drivers and teams that trust Impact. And it doesn't take long to understand why Impact Race Gear is the easy choice. Be sure that your fans, sponsors, and supporters get the products they deserve. When you need the best, it's got to be Impact Race Gear. Give us a call, 877-743-8337, or visit ImpactRaceGear.com to get started on your Simply Awesome race shirts.
Established in 1983, FK Rod-Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
Welcome back to FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park. Track prep underway. The final night of the 18th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Going to be a big night here tonight. Great crowds coming in. It's a beautiful evening as the breeze should be dying down in the next little bit. Well, as we get track prep underway, we got so many great marketing partners here. And Dustin, sometimes the marketing partners actually become race promoters, such is the case with a longtime supporter of this event and, of course, our sponsor of Hoker Trucking Victory Lane, Jeff Hoker. And Jeff, we tried to get your beautiful bride Penny up here, but we ended up with you. We'll take we'll take the worst of the evils.
Not a bad consolation prize, I guess.
You got the short end of the stick.
We did. Well, I tell you what, Jeff, you do a lot to support this event. You do a lot to support race teams. You started dabbling in promotions last year, and now you are going full-fledged. And coming up March 29th and 30th, you got a huge event coming up. Talk about what you guys have planned to get the season kicked off up in Iowa.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. You know, like you said, we've done a lot of stuff with racing for a long time and sponsoring some guys, and we just kind of decided to jump on the other side of the fence and give it a shot. So on March 29th and 30th, we're going to have an event up at Maquoketa Speedway, the Nippy 50. We're going to do a super late model show backed up with some modifieds. Friday night will be $5,000 to win and $1,000 to start. Saturday night's going to be $20,000 to win and $2,000 to start. Super modified or super late models, and the modifieds are going to be $1,000 and $1,500 to win IMCA mods. So we're excited to partner up with Timmy and Ryan and Dark Side Promotions, and of course Ricky Kai is going to be doing our track prep. We couldn't be more excited about that. Of course, Ricky and I have been great friends for a long time and helped support each other for a long time, so we're happy to do it.
Yeah, one of the best track prep guys in the business. And I'm not saying that because he's standing over here looking at me in the corner as well. Yeah, no, I mean, Ricky Kai really, he put Davenport, I think, on the map with the track prep and the racing there. You guys are kind of taking the show, so to speak, over to Maquoketa this year. Talk about that racetrack a little bit, because there's some folks at home that aren't familiar with the Fairgrounds racetrack. I have been there, but I think Jackson County Fairgrounds, if I'm not mistaken. I've been there before. A gorgeous facility and kind of a very, I'm going to call this, and I mean this in the best way, it's a stereotypical Iowa bull ring, man, and it can be a really, really fun place.
It is. We're excited about it. I mean, Ricky's ready to jump in there and make that thing, a track just like, Davenport turned out to be for him. That was all Ricky going in there and doing what Ricky does, and Dr. Al, and putting the work in. And, it's a big a 3/8 mile track. It's got nice banks. We had a great MLRA race there a couple years ago between Chris Simpson and Bobby Pierce run 1-2. Simpson actually won that one, and there's been some great shows there. The stuff that Dark Side Promotions has done there with the modifieds and the stock cars and that, they had a late fall show there this year, was just unbelievable. So, go back and look at some of that and look it up. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a big event. We're putting a lot of money into it, and I think it's going to be one of the premier tracks by the time Ricky gets done to what Ricky does.
All right, so talk to me. You've been talking to some drivers. Give some teasers. Who's some drivers who have interest in this big event coming up March 29th and 30th in Maquoketa?
Yeah, so, I got, of course, Ricky Thornton. Ricky's said, he'll be there. Bobby's going to be there. Jason Fager, Brian Shirley, Gordy Gundicker's going to come up. Chris Simpson. I got some other guys that are pretty much committed. I'm not going to throw them out there right now, 100%. But if you want to see the best in the business, you see what Pierce did here this weekend. If you see him and Thornton go head-to-head, that's the spot to see him. They'll be there in March.
All right, you're stepping off into the promotions. Be honest with me. You're a confident guy, but are you a little nervous about getting into things? You've done everything else. Are you nervous about going straight Hoker Promotions?
No, I'm kind of excited about it. I talked to Penny about it.
You haven't been yelled at yet.
What's that?
You haven't been yelled at.
I'm not yet. I was honestly, I was a little surprised when I said something to Penny about it. We've been talking about it for a little while, and she was like, "Well, let's just try it," and I can't do without her. Let's be honest. I mean, she's the backbone behind all this stuff, and she does all the social media and all that stuff. I know none of that. We're just going to jump in there and we're just going to try something a little bit different. We're going to stay in a lot of great cars. We're staying with Pierce and Thornton and all the guys and Simpson and that, but we just wanted to, I thought it was time to maybe move something and do something a little bit different.
You talk about moving and doing something a little different. One of the things you're doing, and I think that we're starting to see this happen a little more in dirt late model racing, you guys have got a very, very well-balanced purse out there. You mentioned $2,000 just to start on Saturday night. Talk a little bit about some of the thought process that goes into that, because, look, this is a sport where you can't please anyone, right? And certainly, as Ben mentioned earlier, it's a performance-driven sport, so you want to reward the guys that run well and go out there and win races. But talk about the thought process that went into putting not just the event together, but the purses for the super late model division.
So when we started talking about doing this with Timmy and Ryan and Darkside and that, and I said, listen, if we're going to do a super late model show, I've been a big proponent of paying throughout the field. I mean, I've done that for a couple of years, and I've talked about it, social media and whatnot. If I'm going to put my name on a show, then I'm going to back up what I believe in. These guys, you all know it takes a lot of money to do this. It takes a ton of money for these guys to come. And it takes more than just the first, second, third, fourth, fifth place cars to be there. You got to have 24 cars in a show, right? So you got to make it worth their while. So if my vision is, if you're going to make that happen and you're going to run your mouth about doing it, as I have, then you got to put your money where your mouth is and make that happen.
All right. I mean, so you've got it, 5,000 to win, 1,000 to start on Friday. You got to practice on Thursday. That'll be on the 28th of March. 20,000 to win, 2,000 to start on Saturday night for the super late models. You talked about the modifieds. Jeff, if you're a racer, a fan, or maybe a sponsor, where can somebody find more information if they want to get involved with this event?
So there's a Nippy 50 Facebook page right now. Get a hold of me. We're always looking for marketing partners. This thing's going to take some money to put on. There's no question. When you put these kind of purse out there, we need a little help. And I got to tell you, I can't be more excited about the people who've just got a hold of us since we started talking about saying, hey, listen, we want to help you guys as much as what you guys done. We want to come out and help you guys. So, we're looking for anything from a $100 sponsor to whatever you want to spend. It takes everybody. So we're very excited for the people who've already reached out. Get a hold of me. There'll be a lot more information to come. We're really just starting to blow this up now, especially after this event. So just keep watching social media and Facebook and some other posts. And I think you guys will be doing a little more on it here, I think, during Speed Week. So Flow Racing is going to be involved. Flow, we're putting together a deal now for them to put it on the show, and we're looking for a couple good announcers. I don't know what you guys are doing in March, but
I don't know any good announcers, actually.
You guys ain't nothing
You're doing a good enough job up here, though.
I know. Hoker Promotions, Hoker Announcing, Hoker Trucking.
That's right.
It's the trifecta.
My wife says my page is full. She says you got
no
enough
more
on your plate.
Hey, I tell you what, I was thinking, I was thinking I may not be able to make it that weekend, but when you threw IMCA modifieds out
you're
there,
speaking
too,
his language,
yeah, you're
Jeff.
speaking, and he knows that already. That's
absolutely
two great divisions, two great classes. One big weekend, Maquoketa Speedway. This is Jeff Hoker from Hoker Trucking and now Hoker Promotions. Maquoketa Speedway, March 29th and 30th, 5,000 to win, 1,000 to start for the super late models on Friday, 20,000 to win, $2,000 to start for the super late models on Saturday. Jeff, thank you so much, not just for that, but for your involvement in racing, man. You sponsor events, you put on events, you sponsor drivers, and you do even a lot more than that behind the scenes, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. Without folks like you and the Kais and a lot of others, Larry from Rio Grande, this event and a lot of events we do wouldn't be possible. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to kind of start talking about this. And thank you guys for what you do, by the way. You guys are great and turned out to be great friends, and that's a big part of why we do what we do. The friendships we made throughout the years.
It's racing family. We fight sometimes, but, man, we got each other's back when it matters. We appreciate you, Jeff.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and step aside for another set of commercial breaks. Again, track prep ongoing. Opening ceremonies next on the agenda. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the 18th Annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is the Coleman Farms Racing broadcast here live on Flow Racing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FK Rod-End's Vado Speedway Park for the final night of racing in the 18th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Well, the Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions are wrapped up. We've also finished Swift Springs Time Trials presented by Scriven Motor Speedway's Winter Freeze for the super late models. And it's now time to get underway with opening ceremonies here. So those of you on the grounds, if you're able, we'll ask you to please rise at this time. First, for this evening's invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we once again thank you. You've blessed us with just a great day here today, Lord. The best temperatures we've had. We've got another great racetrack here this evening, Lord. We've got a pit area full of drivers, and at this time, we ask you to watch over them, Lord. You've blessed them with a blanket of safety all week long. We just ask you to just please continue that, Lord. These men and women, they go out here and they do extraordinary things, and they make them look very ordinary, Lord. And just please watch over them, the crews, the track staff, Lord, and especially the spectators as well. A lot of folks traveling after this, a lot of winter storms out there, a lot of wind, Lord. Just please watch over each and every participant, staff member, and fan that is here as they depart and go their separate ways later this evening and tomorrow. Father, we ask you as well just to watch over our servicemen and women. We're thankful for them as they continue to fight here in our native land, even as well as abroad, Lord. United States of America, I'm a firm believer, it's the greatest country in the entire world. We're thankful for what they do. And as always, Lord, more than anything else, we're thankful for Jesus Christ, your Son. You sent him to this earth to die on the cross for us. 3 days later, he rose from the tomb to give us a chance at salvation, Lord, a chance to spend eternity in heaven with you. We're so thankful for that, and we ask all of this in his precious and holy name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, you are in for a treat. For the second year in a row, we have got a duet. Christina Mitchell on the violin, Jacob Padilla on the guitar. This is the Star Spangled Banner. How about it, FK Rod-End's Vado Speedway Park? Let them hear you for the second year in a row at the finale, Christina Mitchell and Jacob Padilla.
Well, DJ, that means it's time to get the final night of the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts underway. We'll start with 4 Shocker Hitch X-Mod heats presented by Border Tire. And the first one will be Speedway Motors and Rick's Performance Heat number 1. On the pole out of Yukon, Oklahoma, the 58 of Chad Reed. Into his outside from Bellevue, Nebraska, it'll be Brian Barrett.
Row number 2 on the inside out of Jamestown, North Dakota, will be the red-headed rebel Scott Benson, the 1S. And on his outside out of Grants, New Mexico, the 27N is Colton Poland.
Row 3 is Mr. Rob Mosley out of Los Lunas, New Mexico in the M17, and the 44 of Christy Barnett from El Paso, Texas in the 44.
Fourth row back on the inside, a winner earlier in the week out of Las Cruces, Jesse Haney in the X17, and Aiden Frazier out of Bosque Farms in the 28.
And your back row, Jacob Hodges out of Lebo, Kansas in the 14J, and J.C. Morton out of Springfield, Missouri in car 18. 10 cars, 8 laps, passing points, the name of the game. The top 16 in passing points move off to the main event. Everybody else will be in one of 2 B mains later this evening here at FK Rod-End's Vado Speedway Park. Nick Rivera atop the mini-series standings. DJ, we've had 5 rounds, 4 different winners. Nick Rivera, the only driver to win twice. J.C. Morton went to victory lane. Chris Jackson has gone to victory lane. And, of course, Jesse Haney picked up his first career win in the mini-series back on Wednesday. As we get set to get this one underway, track prep complete, and it's turned into a really nice afternoon in the desert for this final round of this great event.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and I'll tell you what, last night the X-Mods delivered quite possibly the best feature that we've seen in any division here all week long, certainly the best X-Mod A main. Again, mentioned earlier, these men and women have done a tremendous job here all week. We're looking for another good one tonight as the C&D bonding green flag waves. They fire in the Rio Grande Way Services starting zone, and it'll be Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's Chad Reed getting the early advantage.
Mr. Rob from 5th all the way up to 2nd already, getting those passing points early and often in this one as they work down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4. Chad Reed trying to get his first ever heat race win here in the mini-series. He'll lead lap 1 down, 7 to go, and it's Reed over Mr. Rob and Jesse Haney, Wednesday night's feature winner.
It's a good heat race here, man. Oh, baby, is Jesse Haney. Oh, almost loses the tail end. He's going to do some agricultural racing. Look out, photographer. Was that Mike Roofer down there? And Haney somehow only falls back to the 4th spot in this one. Is he just, my goodness, I don't even know what happened right there.
Well, I think he got in the corner a little warm, and he was trying to get to the inside of Mr. Rob and just got into him a little bit, got on the binders to keep from dialing out Rob Mosley, and somehow we stayed clean. As out of turn number 4, it's going to continue to be Chad Reed leading the way. 3 down, 5 to go. You okay over there? 3 down, 5 to go.
Matt Curl and I are playing charades over here. Yeah, the 3 laps in the books, 5 laps remaining, and there's a look at the X15 of Jesse Haney. He's been able to rebound and battle Scott Bentz for the 3rd spot, but now Mr. Rob Mosley has moved up. He's going to battle Chad Reed for the lead this time. 4 down, 4 to go.
Halfway home in this one. This is Heat 1, the Speedway Motors and Rick's Performance Heat, and Chad Reed's led the whole way trying to get his first ever heat race win here at the Rio Grande Way Services Wild West Shootout. Off into turns 3 and 4. Mr. Rob would love to get one more spot, DJ. If he could go 5th to the win, that'd give him a really nice starting spot for tonight's main event.
Absolutely, but right now he tucks back in line in 2nd. You see right there, he's just a car length or 2 behind Chad Reed. And now Scott Bentz, he's trying to shake himself free from Jesse Haney back there. J.C. Morton runs in the 5th spot. Christy Barnett in 6th. And again, what is a loaded first Speedway Motors and Rick's Performance heat race for the X-Mods. 2 laps to go this time by, and here comes Jesse Haney.
Jesse Haney, he took an excursion through the infield. He took an excursion right past Mike Roofer, and he's back on Speedway, and he's trying to get 3rd away from Scott Bentz as we race around to the white flag. Final time around the Speedway and Speedway Motors Rick's Performance Heat 1. Here comes Mr. Rob, DJ.
Yep, you nailed it, Ben. Chad Reed slipped up the racetrack there just a little bit, and that's going to allow Rob Mosley to peek a nose down to the inside. Mosley, though, unable to complete the pass. Brian Barrett off the pace on the front straightaway. That's not going to matter. Hoker trucking, checker flag in the air. Here comes Mr. Rob Mosley with a last turn, last lap pass, gets the win over Chad Reed. Jesse Haney takes the 3rd spot, J.C. Morton 4th, and Scott Bentz 5th. And man, I wish that we had Black Diamond interviews, because I know Mr. Rob would thank his old lady just like he did a few years ago at Arizona Speedway.
He's going to be happy. Chad Reed not. Chad's race car pushed in turn 4 on the final lap, so taking the win. And Speedway Motors Rick's Performance Heat 1 out of Bosque Farms, New Mexico. It'll be Rob Mosley, the the GR2 chassis, Dynamic Racing Engine, Scott Sluka Racing, BD Allen, D&D Solutions, Country Club Animal Hospital, and Hydrostatic Pipe Surf as all sponsors on last year's USRA Stock Car Champion here at Vado. Mr. Rob, 19 wins last year. DJ, he'll go after number 1 here tonight.
Next up's going to be Border Tire Heat Race number 2 for the X-Mod. Your pole sitter from Las Cruces. It'll be Shane McNutt in the 20, it says 21. I think he's in 24S. And on his outside, also out of Las Cruces, Cameron Martin in the M77.
Row number 2 will be Willie Gamble out of Salam Springs, Arkansas in the 7, and Hector Barraz out of El Paso, Texas.
3rd row back on the inside out of Deming, New Mexico. That's Justin Garrett in the 94, and on his outside from Las Cruces, the 23B is Israel Ortega.
Back in row 4, it's Brian Klein out of Las Cruces in the 21K, and the 3J of Josh Kane out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
And your final 2 starters, Tanner Cade out of Hermitage, Missouri in the 21K, and Dusty Riggs out of Hatch, New Mexico in the 96. A lot of local flavor in this one, a lot of
FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park regulars here in Border Tire Heat Race number 2. Again, 8 laps is the distance. We take the top 16 in passing points after these 4 heat races. We transfer them into the feature. The drivers that are 17th on back-end passing points, they will fall into one of 2 B mains coming up a little bit later on this evening.
And so many talented local drivers here. Shane McNutt, Cameron Martin, your front row, 8 laps the distance. This is Border Tire Heat 2 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods, presented by Border Tire.
Indeed it is McNutt and Martin going to lead them off into turns 1 and 2, and Josh Kane already trying to pick his way through the field there in the blue 3J. Again, mentioned earlier, Cameron Martin in a former Josh Kane race car. Kane trying to get all the passing points he possibly can. He started 8th. He's already on the inside, battling for a top 5 position. Shane McNutt leads the field, Ben, at the end of lap number 1.
McNutt leads the way. Martin back in second now. Barraza on the move, and Barraza is going to take second down the back straightaway. Here comes Hector Barraza from 4th to 2nd. He sets his sights on Shane McNutt, who has led early in this one. Back in the 3rd spot, it will be Cameron Martin. They're 3 wide back in the pack. Good stuff early here in Border Tire Heat 2.
Yeah, Josh Kane, the defending late model track champion here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park in that blue 3J, going by his old car, trying to go by his old car. And again, Kane in line for some wholesale passing points as well. He started back in position number 8. Josh Kane will take the 3rd spot. He's moved up 5 positions on lap number 3.
Josh Kane on the move, as we got a lot of track champions and a lot of divisions in this X-Mod class here this week. Out front, though, it's all Shane McNutt. Last year, he was the 21S here. We came back here. He's a little incognito. He's 24, and he leads the way as we are now 4 down, 4 to go here in heat race number 2, presented by Border Tire.
Shout out to Hector Barraza as well there in the 2nd spot, man. He has improved each and every time he's been on the track here this week as another Vado Speedway Park regular from El Paso. 4th in the track point standings last year, and he's closing in just a little bit there on race leader Shane McNutt. He was 2/10 quicker the last time by. You got a battle for the lead, Ben, with 3 to go.
Working lap 6 out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. McNutt leads the way over Barraza. The lead last time by was 4/10 of a second as we come back to 2 to go. Barraza pedaling as fast as he can, trying to get there. Josh Kane watching it all unfold in front of him, and the lead from 4/10 of a second to just under 3/10 of a second as Barraza comes after McNutt. DJ, they race down the back straightaway, and they're going to make their way back around to the white flag.
Well, we saw a last turn, last lap pass for the win in our first X-Mod heat race. Will the same fate be bestowed upon the 24 of Shane McNutt? Josh Kane is pedaling hard to catch this lead duo. White flag is out. Final time around. Shane McNutt in the 24. Hector Barraza in the 23. They head off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Here comes Barraza down to the inside. Will we have another last turn, last lap pass in this one? We will not. Shane McNutt will hang on and get the win. Hector Barraza 2nd. Josh Kane 3rd. Tanner Cade 4th. And Israel Ortega will round out the top 5. Another good heat race for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire.
Coming home in 5th, Israel Ortega. He started back in 6th. 4th goes to Tanner Cade. He started back in 9th. 3rd goes to Josh Kane. He started 8th. Hector Barraza from 4th to 2nd, as we said. And your winner, Shane McNutt out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The Fast Line Services, Advanced Towing, Gress Shocks, 24M. He wins Border Tire Heat 2 for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tires. We get set now for Midwest Sheet Metal Heat number 3. And on the pole, it'll be Nick Rivera, your point leader right now, and 2-time winner in the mini-series out of Las Cruces, New Mexico in the AOS. And to his outside, Tracy Denby Jr. out of Vidor, Texas in the 15.
Row number 2 on the inside, also out of Las Cruces, Jonathan Ortega in the 24X. On his outside, former Wissota Street Stock and IMCA Stock Car standout, Jaden Christ in the 1J.
Row 3 be the 71 and Nate Ranke out of Lisbon, North Dakota. The 02 of Deuce Teague out of Las Cruces.
Asa Flores and Peyton Gallardo make up row 4. They're both out of Las Cruces. And then it'll be another Las Cruces driver, Mike Rosales, in row 5 on his outside. Scott Morling from Grants, New Mexico in the 24. That gives us 10 cars. 8 laps will be the distance. The Midwest Sheet Metal caution lights have been turned off, and they are going to fire right now in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone.
The CMD Botany green flag is out, and Rivera shot out of a cannon. DJ, that's tough when you put him on the front row. He's been good from back in the pack. Oh, hang on to it, Ortega. Can he save it? Rosales right there. And, oh, man, Rosales, the unfortunate benefactor of that incident. Somehow we stay clean and green with Rivera out front in your lead. And in the 2nd spot, car 15 of Tracy Denby. But Denby's got company in the form of the 1J of Jaden Christ.
Well, it's kind of like you and I talked earlier. You know, Nick Rivera has not drawn a good pill in a lot of his heat races as we look back here on the battle for second. So almost maybe a little more pressure on him now. He knows, having started on the pole, he's got to win this heat race to maximize the amount of passing points he could possibly get. Again, with the passing point system, drivers get points based on where they finish as well as the number of cars they pass. So as you'd mentioned last night, if you start on the pole, I mean, it's almost a must that you definitely want to win your heat race.
Yeah, you get penalized if you go backwards. And we've seen already a lot of passing so far tonight. Not a whole lot so far here in Midwest Sheet Metal Heat Race number 3. Shout out to our good buddy Chris Davis with Midwest Sheet Metal, watching back in frigid temperatures in Springfield, Missouri. He's got a smoking hot wife there, though, so he'll be happy. Out front, it's Nick Rivera leading the way, DJ. All four laps complete, 4 to go. And it has been all Rivera so far. He's driving away his advantage right now over Tracy Denby, 1.9 seconds.
And Nick Rivera, the only driver to get a repeat win in this division here this year. As you look back there on the battle for the 5th spot, Deuce Tig in the 02, Peyton Gallardo goes by him in the 17, and Mike Rosales in the 12. Here's how big that gap is between Nick Rivera and second place Tracy Denby Jr. as Rosales goes around in the 12. He does a complete 360. I think he hit the gas to try to keep it going, but instead that car will slow to a stop on the inside of the racetrack, and he may be out of harm's way enough that we're going to stay green.
Yeah, we're going to keep the Midwest Sheet Metal caution flag stored right now as your leader works out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, Nick Rivera, and he's now got a 2.8 second advantage. Alpha turn number 4, white flag in the air for Nick Rivera as you see the gap as he works off 4 and all the way back to Tracy Denby, roughly 3 seconds. Jaden Chris sits in 3rd, Nate Reinke 4th, Peyton Gallardo in 5th. Final time down the back straightaway.
Yeah, this one has been all Nick Rivera all the time as the driver of the AOS-powered AOS chassis wheels off turn number 4, and he's going to get the win in Midwest Sheet Metal Heat Race number 3. Tracy Denby Jr. a distant 2nd, Jaden Christ 3rd, Nate Reinke 4th, and Peyton Gallardo will round out the top 5.
Coming home in 3rd, Jaden Christ out of Jamestown, North Dakota in the 1J. 2nd to Tracy Denby out of Ider, Texas in the 15. And your winner out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the AOS chassis, AOS racing engine, Hacienda Carpet and Tile entry for Nick Rivera. He'll go after his 3rd win of the week here this evening. DJ, it's time for Shocker Hitch Heat Race number 4.
Indeed it is. This is the final heat race of the afternoon for the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire. It'll be Emporia, Kansas native Reese Solander starting on the pole in the 5. And on his outside, the defending track champ in this division from Las Cruces in the 07, Donovan Flores.
Back in row 2, it'll be Sibley, Louisiana's Connor Williams in the 47cc and the 19 of the Nightmare, Lucas Rodine out of Marion, North Dakota.
Las Cruces native Eric McNutt in the 5M starts inside row 3 on his outside, the 7cc out of Sibley, Louisiana, Colby Williams.
Row 4 will be Leonidas Tanner out of Carlsbad, New Mexico in the 102, the 44 GT of Jaime Torres out of Tortugas, New Mexico, and Ruben Ortega on the back row in the 40 out of Las Cruces. Final Shocker Hitch X-Mod heat of the night, 9 cars, 8 laps, again trying to rack up those passing points. They enter the Rio Grande Way Services start zone, C&D bonding, green flags out, and we are underway.
Yeah, Reese Solander going to get the early hole shot in this one, much like Nick Rivera in that last heat race. Solander, one of the tough customers every time he comes here to FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, but again, starting on the pole, it's an almost must for him to try to win this heat race. Is a big move right there by Colby Williams in the 7cc. He is going to go from 6th to 3rd in 1 lap.
Connor Williams holds on to 2nd. Now Colby right there. A couple of team cars run 2nd and 3rd down the back straightaway. Donovan Flores shuffled back to 4th. In 5th, Lucas Rodine, the North Dakota driver, out front on a Sunday drive, literally, figuratively, and all points in between. Reese Solander and cart number 5, the J2 Yeoman Racing Engine entry, driving away from the pack.
And the diversity in this class is unbelievable. Right now you've got Kansas, New Mexico, Louisiana, and North Dakota all right there, and there's not many other places where you can see drivers from those states and of this talent all battling with each other than right here at the Rio Grande Way Services Wild West Shootout. And Ben, I'll tell you what, for as good as Nick Rivera looked in that last heat race, Reese Solander is absolutely picking them up and putting them away here in Shocker Hitch heat race number 4.
Yeah, this is impressive right now. He's got a 2.5 second lead and growing over second place runner Connor Williams and Colby Williams. Almost 3 seconds the advantage. And Solander, a guy that won here last year, he's yet to do it this year, trying to change that here tonight.
Indeed he is. Halfway home in this one, 4 down, 4 to go. And just like that, Solander will trip the trigger. 5 laps will be put up on the scoring monitor. 3 laps remaining here in this Shocker Hitch 4th and final heat race for the X-Mod. Solander now with a 3.2 second advantage over Connor Williams. Connor's brother Colby in the 7cc. He slips up the racetrack and allows defending track champ Donovan Flores to get a run in turns 3 and 4.
Well, we've seen that whoop-de-doo getting into 3, and it's messing with some of these Shocker Hitch X-Mods presented by Border Tire, but you got a side-by-side battle for position number 3 as Colby Williams has got it. Flores wants by, but out front Solander's going to see the white flag. DJ, he's got a 4-second advantage over the field right now.
Yeah, Reese Solander, he is in El Paso. The rest of the field is in Las Cruces. That's how big of a lead the Emporia, Kansas driver has. Nearly a full straightaway. So he heads down the back straightaway for the final time. And
Into turns 3 and 4. Hoker Trucking, checkered flag in the air. The winner of Shocker Hitch Heat Race number 4 is going to be Reese Solander.
Coming home in second, it'll be Louisiana's Connor Williams. Colby Williams, also the Louisiana racer, in third. Flores in fourth. Lucas Rodine rounds out your top 5. He won by right at 5 seconds in that one. The winner of Shocker Hitch X-Mod Heat Race number 4, Reese Solander out of Emporia, Kansas. The Yeoman Racing Engine J2 race car, sponsored by Hodges Brothers Racing, Hodges Farms and Dredging, Murphy Agri, FMC, Farm Bureau Financial Services, and Wildcat Farms, all sponsors on that race car. I'm sorry, Julian. I know that's painful, brother. Big Cowboys fan up here in the booth, not loving what he's seeing. As DJ, we're going to get set. Don't laugh at Julian. As we get set now for Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mod Heat number 1.
I can't laugh. My fish fell to the bottom of the ocean. Yes.
Well, they were froze, to be fair. The water was frozen, and they didn't make it. So we're going to get set now. Again, all these heat races, this division presented by Rancho Milagro. We want to thank Ed and Trudy Healy so much with Rancho Milagro. They do a lot to support our event, this racetrack, and racing in general.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, this is O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat Race number 1 for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds, presented by Rancho Milagro. Here's your lineup on the screen. Starting on the pole, that looks a lot different than the lineup I have in front of me. I think that's heat race number 4 on the screen. This is just heat race number 1 for the Modifieds.
And it does say heat 4. So.
Yeah, it does say heat 4, so we'll get the graphics guru to put O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat Race number 1 up there for you. It's going to be the driver out of Hayesville, Kansas, 2-time and reigning USRA Modified National Champion, Tyler Davis, in the 65, starting on the pole of this one. We'll get that up for you in just a second. On his outside, out of Merced, California, in the 32, it'll be DJ Shannon.
Starting inside of Road 2, he was a winner earlier this week out of Springfield, Missouri. Terry Phillips, there we go, Heat 1. Tiffany's on fire now. In the 75, to his outside, it'll be Duke Erickson out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in the 57.
Third row back on the inside, a pair of local drivers, Lucas Wart from El Paso in the 11, and track owner Royal Jones from Las Cruces in the 131.
Row 4, Jaron Martin out of Republic, Missouri in the 33, and the 30 of James Newton out of Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Your final 3 starters, keep your eyes on Cade Dillard, a 3-time winner this week out of Robeline, Louisiana in the 97. Gabe Hodges out of Lebo, Kansas, making the move up to the Modifieds this year in the 7G. And from just down the road in Anthony, New Mexico, would be Nathan Smith in the 88S. In all, 11 cars scheduled to roll 8 laps. And again, passing points, well, that's the name of the game for the Modifieds. As we take the top 16 in passing points after these 4 heat races, they will lock into the feature. The balance of the field, they will go into one of 2 B mains coming up a little bit later on tonight.
Kansas and California squaring off on the front row of this one with Tyler Davis and DJ Shannon. They'll approach the Rio Grande Waste Services start zone down in turn 4. We're looking for the C&D bonding green flag. First of 4 heats underway for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods, presented by Rancho Milagro. And to the inside, it's Tyler Davis. Oh my goodness, DJ Shannon almost did not turn down there. Finally, he will, and we got beaten and banging back in the pack, but we'll stay green. And how about Terry Phillips, third into second, and he sets his sights on the leader, Tyler Davis.
Absolutely. Michael Reiner's cheering him on at home right now as TP has got that Bloodline race car up to the 2nd position. A winner here on Friday night. Boy, DJ Shannon certainly fighting us some handling issues getting into turn number 1. Meanwhile, Jamie Newton, oh man, he just spun to a stop over in turn number 2, and Gabe Hodges had nowhere to go, and he clocked the number 30, and that will bring out a Midwest sheet metal caution with 1 lap scored and 7 laps remaining here in O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat Race number 1.
A lot of damage over there in turn 2. You hate to see that as the Midwest sheet metal caution's out, and we got debris everywhere. Jamie Newton sitting sideways. Gabe Hodges rolls to a stop down the middle of the back straightaway. First of 4 heats for this division. Then we'll have 4 dirt track bank super late model heats presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. Trenton Berry, I'm just gonna leave it wide open for you. Give me something fun about somebody in this heat race. You're really good at this.
You want to know something fun about someone in this heat race?
Yes, sir.
Oh boy. Do you have a preference of driver?
No, it's your choice, and you can even do a couple if you want. It's going to take a second here to clean that up in turn 2.
All right. I asked Terry Phillips. He's going to take the exact same trek home that I am.
Yep.
He's going to drive tonight. He plans to drive all night. You want to know why?
Why?
Because his lovely wife's planned a vacation for him on Wednesday.
I love Miss Lisa. She's fantastic.
How's that?
Hey, Trent, how about...
Hey, you want to know something about Tyler Davis?
I will, but real quick, I want to give a shout-out to the Phillips family. This is how you know you're getting old, when it says the law offices of Presley Phillips on the side of that 75. I remember when his daughter was just a wee girl.
Hey, listen, I feel like it's probably smart of every racer to find their favorite attorney, and they probably ought to be on the race car just to be on the safe side.
All right, Trent, what have you got for Tyler Davis? Lay it on me.
I went to La Posta to eat lunch today.
Yes, sir.
His car owners, JR and Katie Sartain, flew in from Wichita. They were all here. Tyler, his wife, his kids had a big feed up at the La Posta for lunch today.
We've had a big feed, too. I'm glad Julian ate before the football game started because he wouldn't have now that the Cowboys are getting just smashed right now.
At Trenton, we heard there may or may not have been some fried ice cream ordered at La Posta today also.
There was. Now, I didn't partake in it today.
Oh, well, shame on you.
But I would have liked to have. I was full. I'm telling you guys, those green chili, spicy, sour cream, stacked mile-high enchiladas.
Yep. He actually brought those to the press box today, Trent. First time to try. I'm a big fan.
It's just all I can do to get through them.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
Well, the next time you will have to go a little lighter on the enchiladas so that you can save room for the fried ice cream at the Posta.
With cornflakes in it.
That's right.
It's so good.
Right. Well, the good thing is we've eaten so well this week, the fried ice cream it balanced out everything. So, all right.
It's one of the food groups, right?
Coffee's the other one. 1 lap down, 7 laps to go. O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat Race number 1 for the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifies presented by Rancho Milagro. Seeing the bonding green flag waves once again. And Tyler Davis leads the field off into 1 and 2.
DJ Shannon gets to turn 1 and 2 much better that time around down the back straightaways. We work lap 2 of this 8-lap affair, and Tyler Davis leads the way. Terry Phillips has had a really good week in the desert. I think they're going to have a big year with those Bloodline race cars. But the gentleman starting to really man up to third now has had an excellent week, and that's the 97 to Kate Dillard. DJ, he leads the point standings for this division entering tonight. And just as I say that, announcer's jinx, he slides up the racetrack as Royal Jones goes around over in turn number 2. And I believe we're going to see the Midwest Sheet Metal caution as it was simultaneous chaos over in turn number 2.
Yeah, chaos over in turns 3 and 4 as well as Nathan Smith and Jaron Martin go around. And Trenton Berry, you had action happening at all ends of the racetrack.
Yeah, I'll take care of 3 and 4. Smith has a flat left rear. He spun by himself. Jaron Martin had nowhere to go, but it was kind of all for naught because the yellow was already out. So.
Well,
that was the delayed response in 3 and 4.
I'll tell you what as well, Trenton, that yellow, and you may have saw this also, that yellow is actually going to help Cade Dillard a little bit because I believe that he was going to lose at least one spot, if not another there. He had slipped high over in turn number 2, so that caution, that Midwest Sheet Metal caution flag saves him, TB.
And isn't it funny, too, how, like, racing gives and racing takes away and then racing gives and boy, the ebbs and flows of an event like this sure become apparent. I hate Cade's bad luck the other night. I can't help but think about what could have been there.
Well, and you got to believe Trent, it bent that race car. He's probably going to take it back, straighten it out on the jig. But that race car the first 3 nights, and you talked about it, it's been a while since we've seen a race car that dominant in this modified division.
It really has been. Now, I will tell you, Donnie Peterson put a whole new front end on that race car prior to last night. So they kind of just got it together the best they could the night the crash happened, but they did put all new parts on it last night. Now, he said that the frame wasn't bent, so I'll take him at his word.
I am too, because we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing 2 laps into this one, and guys, Cade Dillard's picked up more passing points than anyone. He has gone from 9th to 3rd,
and he
may not be done yet. Exactly. He's going to try to roll alongside TP and then try to pick off Tyler Davis. You'd almost have to think if Cade Dillard wins this heat race, that's going to set himself up very likely for a front row starting spot in this night's modified A main. Not so fast, my friend. Terry Phillips tries to battle back to the outside. Yeah,
he was getting an early start back to Springfield as he drove it way outside turn 1, almost got to I-10. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead. Cade Dillard to the inside of Tyler Davis, and you may have a new leader as we complete lap 4, will you? Tyler Davis says survey, no sir, by 1/100th of a second, but Dillard's going to take it off into 1 and 2 with a slider, and now Tyler Davis back to the inside. But DJ, as you said, Dillard from 9th to the lead in 4 laps.
Oh man, Tyler Davis drove that 65 deep into 3 and 4 and right into your living room. He had to whoa up coming off the corner, and that's going to cost him a little bit of ground. Dillard now by himself out front. 5 scored in this one, and I tell you what, DJ Shannon, who maybe battled some handling issues the first couple laps of this race, he's got his feet under him. He worked his way by Terry Phillips that last lap. The Merced, California driver now runs in position number 3.
Meanwhile, you got just 2 laps left to go here in O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat Race number 1, and Cade Dillard has set sail in this one, that Durham-powered CDR race car, the S&S Fishing and Rentals entry. He's going to see the white flag out of turn number 4. Meanwhile, spot. Tyler Davis is trying to keep DJ Shannon behind him. Phillips is falling back to 4th. DJ, last time around the speedway.
Final time around, and it's a 1.4-second advantage for Cade Dillard over the 3 drivers on your screen. That's Tyler Davis in the 65. The 32 of DJ Shannon now going to go to the inside of Tyler Davis. Dillard's got this race won. Here comes the battle for second at the line. I like a 50-yard line camera. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler Davis by 2/100ths of a second over DJ Shannon. So Shannon 3rd, Phillips 4th, and Jaron Martin will round out the top 5.
Taking the win after starting 9th in O'Reilly Auto Parts Heat number 1, it's Cade Dillard out of Robley, Louisiana, the S&S Fishing Rentals, Crone Farms, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Johnsville Company, Strength Roofing and Siding, WR1 Sim Chassis, Nickel Stores, Bill Stein, Joel's Auto Sales, Production Jars, and Weir's Machine, Durham-powered CDR race car, and he's going to catch a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trent.
I'm going to slide in here and talk to Cade Dillard after going 9th to 3rd there in his CDR race car. Cade, you look like you're back, buddy. Put a smile on your face. How's things?
Hopefully it's going a little bit better after that wreck. We definitely got our frame bent, so we've been struggling a little ill handling race car, but hopefully we'll patch it up the best we can.
There you go, Ben. You were right. Dang that Donnie Peterson.
It's rare. Donnie at the Dome will redeem himself come December. As we get set now for Derek Ramirez out of Woodward, Oklahoma. He's on the Polish Schaefer Oil Heat number 2 in the 4R. Into his outside, Jake O'Neill in the 0 out of Tucson.
Second row back inside Owensboro, Kentucky's Paul Miles is in the 12. On his outside from Fayetteville, Arkansas, the 4W is Tyler Wolf.
Row 3 will be CJ Halsey out of El Paso in the 77, and Billy Wilker out of Idalou, Texas in the 71T.
Cool Hand Luke, Lucas Schott, Chatfield, Minnesota starts inside row 4 in the 69. On his outside, Jake Gallardo, the defending track champ of the J17. Your final 3 starters, Mark Smith in the 2SS, Alan Sharpenstein in the 75, and Lance Maury rolling shotgun from P11. Again, this is Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2, 8 laps the distance, top 16 overall in passing points, transfer to the A.
See the bonding green flag flies high above FK Rodin's Vado Speedway Park, and 2 Mashers lead the way with a 3rd Masher in tow. It's Derek Ramirez over Jake O'Neill, and back in 3rd, it's Tyler Wolf. It's some good cars at the front of this one, DJs. They come around for lap number 1 in Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2, and it's Ramirez leading the way in the 2nd spot. By 9,000ths of a second, Jake O'Neill in the 0.
Yeah, good battle there between the driver of the Lobo Racing 4, Tyler Wolf, and the Red Eye Motorsports number 0, Jake O'Neill. This happens just a stone's throw away from your race leader, Derek Ramirez. We mentioned earlier that Ramirez, he picked up 3 wins here at the Wild West Shootout a year ago. I was going to say there's 4 wins among the top 3 drivers here 1 year ago, because Tyler Wolf won the finale here 1 year ago on Sunday night. He's trying to work his way by the 0 of Jake O'Neill right now. 3 laps down, 5 to go.
Yeah, Derek Ramirez, the champion last year of the Wild West Shootout. Nobody's getting to Cade Dillard today, as he has pretty much clinched the title as he's raced his way into the main event. But here, as we come right up to lap 4 off turn 4, it's Derek Ramirez leading the way with about a second advantage over Jake O'Neill. Tyler Wolf in 3rd. CJ Halsey rides back in position at number 4.
Yeah, and he's a distant 4th right now with CJ Halsey in that number 77. He's got about a straightaway gap between himself and the battle for the 2nd spot. You're looking back there on Lance Maury trying to work his way through the field. He started dead last in 11th, and right now he's back there with a gaggle of cars battling for about 7th or so. Meanwhile, the battle in front of them for the 4th spot picks up CJ Halsey in the 77 to J17 Jake Gardo, and now the battle for 2nd on your screen. Picking up once again, Ben, Jake O'Neill turning back the challenges of Tyler Wolf. 2 to go.
Well, Ramirez has a 1.7 second lead. He's missing a dang good battle behind him for the 2nd spot. Jake O'Neill's got it. Wolf in 3rd. Gallardo in 4th. Halsey in 5th. Off of turn number 4, lap traffic in front of your leader, as is the white flag. One more time around for Derek Ramirez. You see the gap right there as they head off into turn 1.
Yeah, final time around for Derek Ramirez. Sharpenstein off the pace in front of him. He'll yield down to the inside of the racetrack and allow Derek Ramirez to work his way by as they come off corner number 4. The winner of Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2 is going to be Derek Ramirez, and with a slide job last turn, last lap, you saw it right there. It's Tyler Wolf working his way around Jake O'Neill. O'Neill 3rd. Jake Gallardo moves up to grab the 4th spot, and CJ Halsey rounds out the top 5.
From 8th up to 4th, it'll be Jake Gallardo, Jake O'Neill in 3rd, Tyler Wolf 2nd, and Derek Ramirez wins Schaefer Oil Heat Race number 2. The Paulson Rock Products, Stussy Construction, Boom Test Well Service, McCartney Welding, Swift Springs, S&S Fishing Rentals, Sabizma Graphics, G. Nicholas LLC, and Midwest Refrigeration, all sponsors on that Cornet-powered Hughes race car. And he's catching a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
Derek Ramirez stops his Hughes chassis right down here the entrance to the Winning Edge Carburation Hot Pit. Derek, some of these years we talk to you a lot after these heat races, and some years are a little harder to come by. You feel like you're going to have something for the rest of the guys come May main time?
I hope so. I'd rather talk to you up there like we did last year, but we've been working hard on this thing. My two guys never quit. We've had a couple problems out here, but no better way to find out than out here than when we start points racing. So see what we can do.
Sometimes you like to send a message to Dustin. You have anything for him real quick?
I really don't. His Yukon Huskies are good, but the Dolphins did lose yesterday, but I'm not going to give him crap about that.
I think you just did, Trenton. All right, well, DJ, you can process that one. Mesilla Valley Transportation, heat number 3. I think he definitely took a swing at you. Fito Gallardo out of Las Cruces in the G17, and 0-1 a Jacob Hopscheid out of Plattsmouth, Nebraska.
Last night's winner,
Love
Gary
it.
Christian out of Broken Bow in the 58X inside row 2. Outside of him, A.J. Deem won the 58.
Row 3 will be David Tanner, Wichita Falls, Texas, in the D25, and the 20 are Rodney Sanders out of Happy, Texas.
Fourth row back inside is the 37 of John Neal Reed. Another good heat race here. Ben on his outside will be Carlos Amata Jr. from El Paso in the 65X.
And your final 3 starters will be row 5, Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota. Keep an eye on that 60 in this one. The 64S of Jay Sell out of Bethany, Oklahoma. And Johnny Scott, another one to watch in this one. The 131J out of Las Cruces. And the Royal Jones backup car. He'll start 11th. Mesilla Valley Transportation, Heat 3.
Wow.
And 8 laps the distance there in the Rio Grande Way Services start zone. And we're underway with the C&D Bonding green flag overhead. Gallardo to the inside, Hopscheid to the outside, and here comes Gary Scott Christian to the inside in the 58. It's Hopscheid, your leader, down the backstretch.
All these heat races are loaded, man, but this one here is especially loaded. You've just got talent stacked from top to bottom. At the end of lap number 1, Jake Hopscheid going to be your leader. Gary Christian, last night's winner, down to the inside of Fito Gallardo in a battle for the second spot, and that battle for second has quickly turned into a battle for the lead because Gary Christian trying to pick up exactly where he left off last night. Ben, he goes to the inside of the 0-1 of Hopscheid in a battle for the lead.
At the line, it's Hopscheid by 0.06 of a second. Christian not going away, though, to the inside of Hopscheid. Fito Gallardo in 3rd. Rodney Sanders back in 4th. He started in 6th. And in 5th, it's Dan Ebert. DJ, he started 9th.
Wow, Dan Ebert. Well, you called it before this heat race even got started. You said keep your eyes on the 60 as he's trying to make you look good, as you see right there. Gary Christian that time by at the scoring loop, able to work by Hopscheid. Hopscheid had to get on the binders, and that may allow Fito Gallardo to work his way to the inside at the end of the back straightaway.
Fito Gallardo takes 2nd, and Hopscheid's got his hands full. That car was bouncing through turns 1 and 2, and now Rodney Sanders on the move. That driver started 6th. He's trying to get 3rd away from Hopscheid.
Yeah, right now Hopscheid going to try to keep the 20 of Rodney Sanders at bay, and he knows he's got a 5-time and defending now USMTS modified track champ behind him, as well as the number 60 of Dan Ebert. But Gary Christian has got the 58X set on go for the second straight night. Ben, 5 laps into this one, he stretched out to a 1.3 second advantage. The battle for 3rd continues to rage on.
Sanders trying to find a way around Hopscheid. Meanwhile, in 5th, Dan Ebert. As we said, he started back in 9th. Carlos Amata Jr. not having the run he wanted in this one. He sits back in 6th. He's picked up a few spots. The laps are ticking away, DJ, as we've got just 2 laps remain. In fact, this time out of turn 4, Gary Christian, who is checked out, gone, has a 2.5 and growing lead with the white flag in the air.
Side by side for the 3rd spot you just saw there on your screen, and there's a good look back at that lead that Gary Christian has that Ben just talked about. Jacob Hopscheid going to surrender that 3rd position to Rodney Sanders as a giant puff of smoke out from Johnny Scott's 131J through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Gary Christian gets the win in Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat 3.
Coming on with 2nd, it'll be Fito Gallardo in the 3rd spot. It'll go to Rodney Sanders, 4th to Jacob Hopscheid, and from 9th to 5th, Dan Ebert. So coming on the 3rd spot, Rodney Sanders, he started back in 6th. Fito Gallardo in 2nd, and your winner of Mesilla Valley Transportation Heat Race number 3, it's going to be cart number 58X, last night's feature winner, Gary Scott Christian, the driver out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma, the panel chipping, Smith Equipment, True Pay Credit Card Company, Team 5 Enterprise, Bristow Custom Metals, 4J Energy, Cyclo Propane, Hochtown Saloon, all sponsors on that Mullins-powered CDR race car. Trenton, he had 3 wins all of last year. He's already got 1 on the board, and he just won this heat race from the 3rd starting spot, and he's down to get a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with you.
Gary Christian kills the engine. Hey, at any point in your career, you ever had 2 days, you ever put 2 days worth of heat races together and felt this good?
Man, I can tell you the truth, no. Car's great. Just try to stay consistent and do the same thing again.
And you won by over a second and a half. Great job, Gary Christian, your heat race winner.
He's a man of few words. He does his talking with his heavy right foot. DJ, as it's time for Rancho Milagro Heat Race number 4. It'll be Calvin Iverson on the pole out of Oliva, Wisconsin in the 27X. And to his outside from Lincoln, Arkansas, Jeremy Lacoe in the 75J.
Row number 2 out of El Paso, Texas, the good Dr. Tom George is in the 28. And on his outside out of Wichita, Kansas, the 02 is Tanner Mullins.
Row 3, the 18 junior, Ricardo Olagi Jr. from El Paso, and to his outside the 11, and of Gene Nicholas out of Lowell, Arkansas.
4th row back inside out of Las Cruces, Xavier Ortega in the 24, and on his outside out of Muskogee, Oklahoma in the 88, it's Chad Wheeler.
Row 5 will be Logan Drake out of San Luis Obispo, California in the 111, and the 71 of Philip Houston out of Odessa, Texas, and your final starter, Jimmy Ray, late arrival in the 9R out of Las Cruces as we get set to go 11 cars, 8 laps, Rancho Milagro Heat 4.
Another gorgeous sunset here in the desert as the final Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modified Heat Race goes green, and Calvin Iverson starts on the pole and leads the field off into turns 1 and 2.
But the Midwest Sheet Metal Caution is going to come back out. We're going to try that one more time.
Maybe too good of a start for Calvin Iverson, or maybe Jeremy Lacoe just didn't quite get up to enough speed right there.
If you don't try, you don't know. Is Green Bay going to score 60-plus in this playoff game?
Listen, I told you earlier, I was very disappointed there's no online gambling.
Julian is never bringing us food again from La Posta. I think we burned up that one. Sorry, man.
All right. Your wife is over here actually lobbying for La Posta to get delivered to Memphis, Tennessee. You may need to get food delivered there if the snowstorm hits. You may be snowed in for a while if you can even get back. Down the back straightaway, Jeremy Lacoe, a much better start. He's going to try to lead the field here at the end of lap number 1. Lincoln, Arkansas drivers out front. Calvin Iverson second.
Oh, hang on to it down the front stretch.
Uh-oh.
And we got 2 into the wall, and that's going to be Philip Houston. And he's got a little bit of company back there, as I think that might be... Who we got?
I believe it's Gene Nicholas.
Gene Nicholas.
Gene Nicholas. Oh, man. Trenton, you had a front row seat for that one. They wrecked 4 times off of 4 before they got to the front straightaway, and then unfortunately it was Houston and Nicholas getting together.
They did, and it was just Philip Houston didn't really have anywhere to go, and he got some contact and kind of got turned in front of Nicholas, and Nicholas was just running his line, just a racing thing.
Well, we're going to go to the FK Rod-Ins instant replay as Houston backs off the fence. He's got mangled right front, last year's West Texas Raceway track champion, and you just see him coming off the corner. Man, Houston shot up the racetrack, and unfortunately, Gene Nicholas with nowhere to go, and that was just bad for everybody involved, man. Wrong place, wrong time, and some good race cars torn up on that one as Philip Houston is going to slide off on the hook. Gene Nicholas backing up. Trenton, we love every year because you don't know who's going to – we have an idea some of the guys are going to show up, but Jeremy Lacoe, when we saw that he was coming, the Lincoln, Arkansas driver from the northwest part of the state, first time out here, and we love seeing these drivers come for the first time out here to the desert.
Oh, 100%. And I don't remember, Calvin Iverson's really competed too. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he'd been here at Tovado before, had he?
Now, he was a frequent flyer when we were, there at Arizona Speedway, but he has not been here to Tovado. And as DJ said the other night, he wasn't coming. He was going to be snowmobile racing, and he's had a pretty solid week. He only raced a handful of starts in this modified last year.
It is, and I love that about this event, and even to get somebody like Cade to come do this, it isn't his primary thing, but it is his business to buy or to build and sell modifieds and parts. And it's a pretty eclectic group, and it's sure a lot of fun to see everybody out here.
I'll tell you a neat little story about Calvin Iverson. I think I've got this right. Where he was going to race is actually Eagle River, Wisconsin, as we mentioned earlier in the week. The weather was too warm at the time up there to run the event they were scheduled. Here's another irony behind that. Those races at Eagle River up there, I think it's at Derby Complex, if I'm not mistaken. Those are also live right here on Flow Racing.
And there's it's just an insane amount of snowmobiles in that. And I think usually it's about -30 up there as well. So.
Well, it may feel like that when we all get to our respective homes here in about 24 hours if we're able to make it. As 1 lap is scored, 7 laps remain here. This is Rancho Milagro Heat Race number 4, and Jeremy Lacoe out of Lincoln, Arkansas. He had 1 win a year ago at the Crawford County Speedway, leads him to the green, and Tom George is going to move up into the 2nd spot and leave Calvin Iverson back there to battle with Tanner Mullins, Ricardo Olagi Jr., and Chad Wheeler for 3rd.
Tom George sits in 2nd, chiropractic doctor, and tell you what, the way your back's been popping working there at the house this week, you might need to go see Tom George before you roll out of the desert tomorrow. He sits in 2nd. He's got a race car. He is starting to reel in your leader, Jeremy Lacoe, back in 3rd, the 27X of Calvin Iverson. And now Tanner Mullins up top. Oh, no, right in front of Tanner. Oh, and a lot of good cars are going to get collected over in turn 3 and 4 as Lacoe and George's went around, and there was nowhere to go for your drivers.
Man, that's tough break. Yeah, Lacoste started to snap around in the 75. I think he hooked the whoop-de-doo there getting into the corner. And when the tail end of that car started to go around, Tom Georges had nowhere to go. He got caught up in it, and Tanner Mullins had an unbelievably hard hit over there. He is going to drive around and exit the racetrack. Man, that's a tough break for Tanner Mullins. We'll check the FK Rod Ends instant replay and see what happened at the front of the field. And, yep, there it was. The 75 started to go around, and as he slowed up, Tom Georges still had a ton of speed in the corners, and Tom Georges just had absolutely nowhere to go, man. That is a tough break for those drivers. And again, the 0-2 of Tanner Mullins, his heat race is finished. We'll look for him in one of the B mains a little bit later on. Trenton.
Tom's broken his left front. You guys will see it when he rolls around here.
Thank you, Trenton. Is left front suspension damage. Ouch. There you see it on the 28 of Tom Georges. Man, a tough break for him. And I feel like a broken record saying this, but truly one of the nice guys in the pit area here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park.
Yeah, I mean, he really is, and one of the regulars here. And I tell you what they have built here, Royal Jones, Mike Garcia, the entire staff here, they've got a really talented weekly show here. And again, check these guys out. They got a lot of racing coming up throughout the year. You can find their website online at Vado Speedway Park. Check them out on social media. Come see what they built out here in Vado, New Mexico. And if you come out here, there's a lot to do in Las Cruces, a lot to do in El Paso, and just gorgeous setting right now. As I'm looking at the mountains off the back straightaway and the sun setting on those. You see the sun setting behind the grandstands. As you see that sunset, the sunsets, as we talk about, they hit different. And I don't know if we can get a shot of the mountains off the backstretch as well here in a second. Just the way the sun is, it's spectacular,
yeah,
DJ.
You nailed it, man. That's my favorite thing as well. Look at that. Even in person, man, when that sun is setting, the light that reflects off those mountains, man, it's a gorgeous setting. I-10 right off the distance there as well. But if you're ever passing through I-10, Las Cruces, El Paso, this area, and you're watching at home, this Coltman Farms Racing broadcast, look at that shot right there. I love that. I love that. That is great camera work. Stop in and visit, man. They do. They have tremendous racing here. And Mike Garcia and the staff at Royal Jones Racetrack, just first-class people all the way around.
And go get some La Posta while you're out here.
Yes.
See why we keep talking about it. But, yeah, come check it out. Thank you, Royal Jones, Mike Garcia, Julian Herrera, everybody here with the racetrack. As DJ, lights are down, 2 down, 6 to go. And this is Rancho Milagro Heat 4, and we're back underway. C&D bonding green flag is out, and Iverson has got company as he inherited the lead, but now he's got, goodness, and he just got an elbow to the cheek, and he's going to somehow get his feet back under him, but the 24 of Ortega slowing off the pace.
How about Jimmy Ray, a late arrival, started dead last in this race, and he isn't almost to the lead. Yeah, he almost had the lead from Calvin Iverson right there. Iverson going to try to get it back, but Jimmy Ray from 11th to 2nd and possibly the lead. He may be up there with Cade Diller and a couple others battling for one of those first 3 or 4 starting spots in tonight's A main with that run.
Well, he's got a good run, and he's no stranger to Hooker Trucking victory lane here as well. But right now, he's got Chad Wheeler looking to his outside, and that's the battle for position number 2. Wheeler was collecting that melee earlier, so here's the deal. Wheeler had to go to the back, but he started 8th, so right now he's trying to get up to 2nd, and if he does, Chad Wheeler's going to have a really good shot to be starting up front next to the car he drove here last year, but Cade Dillard is in that won his heat race from 9th.
Yeah, Logan Drake up there as well. He started 9th. Now he just worked his way around Ricardo Alagi there on the 18 on your screen to pick up the 4th position. So a ton of passing points coming out of this 4th and final Rancho Milagro heat race. 2 laps to go, and Chad Wheeler is tucked up underneath the rear decking of the 27 of Calvin Iverson, and now he's going to work around him down the back straightaway.
Off into turns 3 and 4, coming back to the white flag. Who's going to be your leader? Iverson drag race back to the line. It's Chad Wheeler. They'll head off into turns 1 and 2. Iverson with a big head of steam. I don't know if it's going to stop. It did not. Wow, right up in front of Chad Wheeler. He had to get on the binders as Iverson back to the lead.
Yeah, Chad Wheeler, you got to wonder if he's going to set him up for maybe a last lap pass through turns 3 and 4. Looking at the white flag this time, Calvin Iverson is your leader. Or checkered flag, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. I was a lap behind.
Calvin Iverson takes the win. Chad Wheeler in 2nd. Jimmy Ray from last to 3rd. Logan Drake in 4th. And Ricardo Alagi Jr. in 5th. So Jimmy Ray 11th to 3rd. Chad Wheeler 8th to 2nd. And your winner, Calvin Iverson. He started on the pole out of Oliva, Wisconsin. The Tim's Automotive Engine, MB Custom, Kelly Iverson Trucking, OEM Well Service, Monarch Paving, Flying Ryan Sports Bar, CenturyLink 21, the Raven Team, all sponsors. That Tim's Automotive Engine, MB Custom Race Car. He ran ran a limited schedule this year, Trenton, but he just a power move wins Rancho Milagro Heat 4.
Hey, you guys want to know what class is in a race car?
Yes.
Iverson just pretty well parked it right on Wheeler's bumper. He rolled over here and gave him a thumbs up as he went to the scales.
Love it.
Pretty cool sportsmanship right there from Chad Wheeler. He didn't have a whole lot of room there, but you had to go when you had the shot.
Yeah, that was, I didn't know if I had her, but I figured Chad would be a pretty good sport with it. We've been racing good all weekend, and I appreciate it.
Man, you did a great job. Cool to see you here. I know you were supposed to be snowmobile racing. I'm glad you came out here. Calvin Iverson, the 27X.
All right, well, thanks a lot,
Trent.
Trent. Yeah, absolutely. One real quick update from that Rancho Milagro heat race. Because Jimmy Ray checked in late, and that was my mistake on the broadcast, per Wild West Shootout rules, because he checked in late, he does not get passing points. He only gets finishing points.
Because the pill draw was closed.
Yep, and the Space Shuttle cloud still hovers over turn number 2.
Well, it's time for Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat number 1. It's Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota, and to his outside it'll be Bobby Pearson, the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois.
Row number 2 out of New Berlin, Illinois. It'll be the B5 of Brendan Shepard. Shout out to you, James Essex. On his outside out of Russellville, Arkansas. In the 11, it's John Kirby.
We'll see James next week. Starting inside of row 3 it'll be Drake Troutman out of Hyman, PA in the 17, and the 18 of Chase Young Hands out of Manhattan, Kansas.
4th row back inside, Mobags Morgan Bagley's out of Longview, Texas. And on his outside, second-generation driver from Menominee, Wisconsin. The 28 is Sam Mars.
And your back row out of Yuma, Arizona, Kent Rosevere in the 02, the 250 of Walton Kyle Jr. out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. First of 4 heat races for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars, Trenton Berry.
Kate Honeycutt broke yoke on the drive shaft qualifying, but he's going to fix and ready for the heat.
You're the man, Trent. Thank you very much. They'll approach the Rio Grande Waste Services start zone looking for the C&D bonding green flag, and Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat 1 is underway. Top 4 to the feature winner goes to the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions pole award, and Sorensen trying to get up in front of Bobby Pierce. There's going to be a slider off into 3 and 4. Mark it down. Here comes Pierce. Sorensen up top. Pierce will slide up in front of Sorensen. Sorensen turns back down the hill. Lap number 1, it's Dustin Sorensen, your leader.
Dustin Sorensen out front, Bobby Pierce second. We're going to see those two drivers battling on the World of Outlaws Case Construction Late Model Tour this season. Dustin Sorensen trying to do something that not many have been able to do this year, and that is get a checkered flag in front of the 32. Bobby Pierce right there as well. These three going at it in Heat 1.
And Pierce and Sorensen get together. They'll get the feet back under him, and here comes Brandon Shepard back in 3rd. Drake Troutman rides in 4th. John Kirby on the outside looking in. He's in 5th. Only 4 move on. There's been some elbows early in this one.
Yes, there has. Track starting to widen out. Looking really good right now as Brandon Shepard giving Dustin Sorensen all he can handle. He wants a piece of the 32 as they go side by side momentarily in turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes B. Shep. He'll wash up in front of the 19 of Dustin Sorensen. Sorensen will cross him over down the front straightaway.
3 World of Outlaw drivers leading the way in this one, and a driver back and forth undecided between Lucas and World of Outlaws potentially for a rookie run this year. A lot of national tour drivers out here in the desert to start the year. His Shepard in front of Sorensen. This one's fun, but Pierce is gone, DJ, with 5 down, 3 to go.
Yeah, he will go if he continues to stay out front. Again, the winner of these heat races go into the Schaefer Oil redraw, where there will be pills 1, 2, 3, and 4 as they will draw for the first 4 starting spots. Drake Troutman putting together a good run in that Chris Bragg Racing number 7 as he's closed in and made it a 3-way dance now for the bridesmaid honors.
Racetrack really nice right now as Sorensen sits back in 3rd trying to find a way around Sheppy. Troutman having a good run off turn number 4. White flag is there. Final time around the speedway in Gorsuch Performance Solutions heat race number 1.
You just saw the gap between Bobby Pierce and second place Brandon Shepard, a 1.5 second advantage for the smooth operator as he's going to take that low voltage solution number 32 around turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and he's going to get the win here in Gorsuch Performance Solutions heat race number 1. Brandon Shepard will hold off Dustin Sorensen for the 2nd spot. Drake Troutman will grab the 4th and final transfer position.
John Kirby, Morgan Bagley, everybody else will head off to a B main. Your 4th and final transfer, Drake Troutman out of Hyman, PA. 3rd will go to Dustin Sorensen out of Rochester, Minnesota. 2nd to Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois. And your winner, Gorsuch Performance Solutions Heat 1 and the Low Voltage Solutions, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Hooker Trucking, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn. It's Bobby Pierce, and he's catching a Black Diamond interview with Trenton.
Pierce has killed the engine on his Longhorn race car, and I'm going to take the helmet off here real quick, get a quick comment from Bobby. Another day, another heat race win. Nobody's surprised, but Dustin Sorensen looked like he pushed you a little bit right there. Could you kind of feel him breathing down your back?
Yeah, that was a hard one there. I know I probably didn't race in the cleanest I could, but 100 grand on the line. Had to do what I had to do to win that heat race, and it was a lot of fun. We got to get the car a little better, though.
All right, here we go. You're going to be in the redraw coming up here in just a little bit.
Hey guys, Bobby Pierce in good shape. He's huffing and puffing after 8 laps. This racetrack is aggressive right now as we get set for Dirt Track Bank Heat number 2. And on the pole out of Winfield, Tennessee, the 157 of Mike Marlar to his outside, Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba in the 7.
Row number 2 on the inside of Ham Lake, Minnesota, the 42S is Don Shaw, and on his outside from Westlake, Louisiana, the 25 is Mikey Kyle.
Row 3 will be Jason Strand out of Portland, North Dakota in the E85, and the 38 of Tomas Hunziker out of Bend, Oregon.
And your final 3 starters out of, it's all Oregon all the time. Albany, Oregon's Bryson James is in the 13. Jim Whistler out of Otis, Oregon in the 28W. And the 777 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, it'll be Pete Vargas. As you see some race fans up there on the top of the suites watching the racing action here at FK Rod-Ends Vado Speedway Park. Get word on the 2025 Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by Rally Auto Parts here at Vado Speedway Park. We'll have those dates announced to here very soon. As Ben mentioned earlier, make sure you check out wildwestshootout.net or our social media pages for more information here in the coming weeks. As Dirt Track Bank Heat number 2 is set to get underway, Mike Marlar on the pole, Ricky Weiss on the outside.
Looking for the C&D bonding green flag out of turn number 4. It's out. We're on it. It's Marlar with a hole shot off into 1 and 2. Weiss in the second spot as Marlar will take the lead. Weiss holds on to second. Don Shaw shoves up the racetrack 3 wide briefly for the third spot. And how about Jason Strand, 2 for 1 off turn 2? He'll move up to third.
And he may not be done yet. He's going to try to draw down to the inside of Ricky Weiss. Weiss, though, with a little more steam on the higher side of the racetrack, will grab sole possession of that second spot. Marlar leads lap number 1. Weiss second, Strand third. Mikey Kyle in fourth. That's your third and fourth place cars on your screen. Don Shaw right now on the outside looking in, as is Bryson James and Tomas Hunziker.
Out front, Mike Marlar in the 157 looking fast. Didn't have the run he wanted in the main event last night, getting tuned up. I think Marlar's going to try to run every Speed Weeks race, which feels like about 87 right now. And he leads the way in this one off turn number 4. He'll lead lap 3 of Dirt Track Bank Heat race number 2 over Ricky Weiss. The advantage, 0.8 of a second.
By the way, I saw Tim McCready run every Speed Weeks race as well.
T-Max now, and probably some big blocks along the way.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, Ricky Weiss and Mike Marlar, they have powered out in front of this field as that lead duo has got about a 1.5 second advantage over Jason Strand, Mikey Kyle. Holden serving that 4th and final transfer spot. There's a look back at the battle for the 5th position. That 13 on the inside, that's Bryson James, and the 42S on the outside is Don Shaw. This time by 5 laps in the books, 3 laps to go in Dirt Track Bank Heat race number 2.
And Marlar continues to lead the way, and it's about an 0.8 of a second advantage as it's been the entire event pretty much over Ricky Weiss. Weiss has got almost a straightaway over Jason Strand. Strand's got about 12 car lengths over Mikey Kyle. Kyle trying to put it in the show tonight. And Vinny Giuliani, the VG Engineering down there turning wrenches on that race car, among others, as they work down the back straightaway. DJ, it's been comfortable for Mike Marlar in this one, and he'll see the white flag from Jason Rominger off turn number 4.
Final time around for the driver of the 157, Mike Marlar, that Skyline Motorsports Truck Country entry. As Ben said, has about a 1.5 second advantage over Ricky Weiss, as Marlar, a former Wild West Shootout champion, seeking his first win of the mini series. He'll go into the Gorsuch Performance Solution, or the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. Second spot is Ricky Weiss, Jason Strand third, and Mikey Kyle finishes in that coveted 4th and final transfer spot.
Your 4th and final transfer out of Louisiana, Mikey Kyle in the 25 car. Third will go to Jason Strand out of North Dakota in the E85. Second to Ricky Weiss out of Headingley, Manitoba in the 7. And your winner out of Winfield, Tennessee, the Skyline Motorsports Truck Country, Bruning Rock Products, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Can-Am Auto Salvage, Petroff Towing, Brown's Heavy Equipment, Clements Powered Longhorn for Mikey Marlar. And he's down for a Black Diamond Race Cars interview with Trenton.
Marlar in the 157. We'll let him pull his lid off here in just a second and get a quick word with him. Hey, Bobby was a little out of breath there at the last heat race. Got me to thinking watching you wheel it out front. Was this the most aggressive track you've heat raced on so far here this year?
It's pretty aggressive, but I would say it's probably close to being the same, but you're always up on the wheel here every lap, slick, really even in the slick. So, yeah, we definitely have to keep our exercise up because it gets a little physical out there.
There he goes. Good thing I hold a microphone's what Mikey Marlar said right there, boys.
Your words, not ours.
And there was no rock, paper, scissors down there, so Mikey was relieved. As we get set for Hoker Trucking Heat Race number 3, Seth, you heard me in the trailer. I'm going to get you a kangaroo for Christmas. As we come up next, it'll be Kyle Larson out of Elk Grove, California on the pole in car 6, into his outside the 2S of Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces, New Mexico.
The second row back on the inside out of Moweaqua, Illinois, the Moweaqua Missile, Shannon Babb in the 18, and on his outside from Winona, Minnesota, the 49 is Jake Tim.
Row 3 out of Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, it's Terry Carter in the 16, and the 15S of Clayton Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
And your final 3 starters out of Truman, Arkansas, Kyle Beard in the 86, Gecko Perez from Chihuahua, Mexico in the number 3, and Chance Mann out of Newport, Arkansas in the 88. The 9 cars running 8 laps in Hoker Trucking heat race number 3. Again, the top 4 drivers in this one go to tonight's A main, and the winner goes into the Schaefer Oil Redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award. Ben, yeah, we've said it all week long. If Kyle Larson could qualify good, what if in the feature? Well, he's got his opportunity right now.
Yeah, that's the good news for him. The bad news is he's lined up alongside Stormy Scott, and Stormy has got faster and faster as the week goes along. He set out Wednesday night, had a little bit of a back pain, but he's back in that Category 5 race car. And I tell you what, Jason Durham and the gang getting those race cars tuned up. We'll see if Larson, Scott, or somebody else can take the checkered flag in this one. This is Hoker Trucking heat race number 3.
Larson on the inside, Stormy Scott on the outside. They fire in the Rio Grande Waste Services starting zone, and a good start for Kyle Larson, an equally good start for Shannon Babb, who's able to roll down to the inside of Stormy Scott, and Babb will clear Stormy down the back straightaway. Babb may not be done yet. Larson, he really bikes up down in 3 and 4.
I thought he was headed for the concrete, maybe upside down, as he'll get his feet back on him. He leads lap number 1. Shannon Babb in 2nd. Stormy Scott 3rd. Jake Tim shoots up the racetrack, back and forth, and here comes Beard and Clayton Stuckey 3 wide back there. So we got 3 cars battling for the lead. My goodness, it's good stuff right now.
No doubt about that. Stormy Scott trying to shake off the start that maybe didn't quite go his way. And that 2S, about the same line he ran yesterday, Ben, just about a car length off the bottom of the speedway. That Category 5 race car looking really good right now. He's going to work his way by Shannon Babb, coming up to complete 3 laps, 5 remaining. It's Larson, Scott, Babb, your top 3.
Man, these guys are really getting off the ground today. There's some whoop-de-doos on both ends, and Larson, I still don't know how he got that car to turn. As last time by, Stormy Scott was 9/10 of a second back. He might be reeling in your leader a little bit. Survey says on that, 8/10 of a second. He knocks a 10th off at just 4 laps to go here in Hoker Trucking heat race number 3.
You know, the one thing I've noticed about Stormy Scott as you look back here on the battle for the final transfer between Kyle Beard in the 86 and Jake Tim in the 49, the one thing about that Category 5 race car is Stormy Scott, man, he's very smooth. He keeps that thing nice and clean and straight. He's able, that last time by, to cut into Kyle Larson's lead just a little bit. Meanwhile, again, this battle for the final transfer continues to rage on. Kyle Beard trying to find a way around Jake Tim.
And the lead now 6/10 of a second with 2 laps to go. Can Stormy get to Larson? You see Larson change his groove. Stormy Scott's making up ground right now, though. Back in 3rd, it's Babb. Tim's got 4th. Beard's trying to get around him. You see that on the right side of your screen. The battle for the lead on the left side. White flags out. Final time around the speedway.
Final time around indeed. I don't know that Stormy Scott's got anything for Kyle Larson. Kyle Beard still trying to work by Jake Tim as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. One last-ditch effort for Stormy Scott on the left side of your screen. Hoker Trucking checkered flag waves. Kyle Larson's going to get the win in FK Rod Ends Heat 4.
Coming home in 2nd, Stormy Scott 3rd to Shannon Babb, and 4th will go to Jake Tim as Kyle Beard, Clayton Stuckey, Chance Man, everybody else off to a B main. You okay?
Heat 3. I said Heat 4. It's Hoker Trucking Heat 3. My bad.
If that's the worst thing that happens, it's a good night. 4th and final transfer, Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota in the 49T. The 18B of Shannon Babb out of Moweaqua, Illinois. 2nd will go to Stormy Scott out of Las Cruces. And your winner, race fans, out of Elk Grove, California, the Flow Racing, HendrickCars.com, Bill Stein, D&E Marine, Mega Plumbing of the Carolinas, Hot Rod Septic Treatment, Mesilla Valley Transportation, JVI Group, and American Racing Pro Wheels, Cornet Powered Longhorn. It's Kyle Larson in car number 6 as he moves off to his first Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole of the Week. And Trenton, he's going to get his first Black Diamond Race Cars interview with you.
Kyle Larson stops at HendrickCars.com, number 6, right down here inside of turn number 4. And to take the helmet off, his head sock off as well. Kyle, qualifying, obviously, you know, is so pivotal, and it made a lot of difference there for you. Are you starting to think about maybe playing the role of spoiler with all that Bobby's got on the line here tonight? Or is it more important for you to just kind of like slay the dragon here and try to get one?
I don't know. I'm just happy to qualify good, honestly, for once. And I felt really good when we've gone to racing here the last few nights, just can't qualify. So tonight, for whatever reason, we qualified good. So we'll see if we can keep it going here. Bobby's obviously been really good, but we've been good as well. We just had to work really hard at it in the features.
There it is. He's just had to roll up through the field a lot, guys, and we've seen him put on a show when the money's been on the line. Maybe tonight's the night for Kyle Larson.
Absolutely is. Now it's time for FK Ride-Ins Heat Race number 4. Your pole sitter in this one out of Robeline, Louisiana, the opening night winner. It's Cade Dillard in the 97, and on his outside out of New Waverly, Texas, and the Best Performance Motorsports number 1, Tyler Erb.
Row number 2 will be Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces in the 58, and to his outside, Bossier City, Louisiana's number 1 of BJ Robinson.
Colin Weinbarger's been very good all week long, Ben. The Corbett, Oregon driver starts inside row 3, and on his outside out of Torrance, California, the 32B, Cody Laney.
Your final 3 starters will be Rodney Sanders in the 73 out of Happy, Texas, and row 4, the Ian Whistler out of Otis, Oregon, and Caden Honeycutt out of Bridge City, Texas in the 10. 9 cars, 8 laps. This is FK Ride-Ins Heat Race number 4. C&D Bonding green flag is out, and Cade Dillard, DJ, he won the opener here back last Saturday, and he's going to charge to the lead, but he's got Turbo coming on the top side out of 2 down the back straightaway.
Tyler Erb with a good run on the outside. Garrett Alberson was trying to get a run on the inside. 3 tough customers up here battling for the top 3 spots at the end of lap number 1. Give it to Cade Dillard ahead of Garrett Alberson and Tyler Erb. I got a feeling this is going to be a good one, Ben. Here comes Dillard on the outside, and here comes one of the local heroes, Garrett Alberson, on the inside.
Alberson's been fast all week. Oh my goodness, check those shocks right now as they are bicycling into turn 3 on the reg over there in turn number 3. We'll keep an eye on this next time as Alberson will get 2 wheels off the ground down in turns 1 and 2, and out front it is Cade Dillard leading the way, and this one's been fun so far.
Yeah, well, it's been fun from our vantage point. Not sure how much fun it is for the shock specialist down there, as at the end of lap number 3, Dillard leads by half a second over Garrett Alberson. We're running 2 different lines. Dillard's got the 97, rim riding around the high side of this racetrack, and Alberson, who had been running the bottom, he now goes to the top side as you look back on the battle for the number 3, 4, and 5 spots. That's Colin Weinbarger in the 14S. He's in the 4th and final transfer spot ahead of the 1 of BJ Robinson, the 32 of Cody Laney.
Out front, Cade Dillard last time by 0.5 of a second advantage over Alberson. Eyeball test says Alberson might be closing just a little bit, and actually it doesn't. About half a second it will stay. Meanwhile, Tyler Erb almost a straightaway back in 3rd, and he's got about 12 car lengths over Colin Weinbarger for the 4th and final transfer off turn number 4. 6 down, 2 to go, and Cade Dillard right now, DJ, looking like the Cade Dillard that won last Saturday in the opener.
Your eyeball test says you may need to go to Deathridge Opticians. It's a 0.6 of a second advantage for Cade Dillard in the 97. Alberson still right there in tow, and as you'd mentioned, those 2 drivers, they've stretched out to a pretty sizable advantage over your 3rd place car, Tyler Erb. White flag in the air, final time around for Cade Dillard.
Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, Dillard up top, Alberson down low. Meanwhile, Tyler Erb scrubs off a lot of speed down in 1 and 2. He'll get his feet back under him. Hooker Trucking checkered flag is out. The winner of FK Ride-Ins Heat 4, Cade Dillard.
2nd spot goes to Garrett Alberson, 3rd to Tyler Erb, and Colin Weinbarger will grab the final transfer ahead of Cody Laney, BJ Robinson, Rodney Sanders, Ian Whistler, and Caden Honeycutt. Honeycutt, you got to wonder if he still has damage on that race car, as he only made 1 lap. So finishing in that final transfer, it's Colin Weinbarger. Tyler Erb grabs 3rd. Garrett Alberson finishes 2nd, and the winner of FK Ride-Ins Heat Race number 4 in the S&S Fishing and Rentals. Crone Farms, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Production Jar sponsored. Number 97, it's going to be Cade Dillard, and he's going to grab a Black Diamond interview momentarily. He's going to make an extra lap, Trent, and going to make you work for it. Cade Dillard gets the win, and he will go into the Schaefer Oil redraw for the Gorsuch Performance Solutions Pole Award.
Dillard rolling nice and slow right here to me inside of turn number 4. He'll kill the engine of his Longhorn race car. The helmet is off. Set that thing up on the roof. Cade, you're the only one so far that's bested Bobby, and I'm sure that's something you've thought about all week, trying to get back and do it again. You think you got what it takes here this evening?
We're definitely put ourselves in position so far, but he's been really good, and there's a lot of laps left, so we'll just try to make the right adjustments throughout the night.
There he is, Cade Dillard. Sounds like he's given 1 or 2 of those before, doesn't he?
He might be a pro. He would definitely be a pro.
He's a pro.
What did you just do, DJ? You're
I may or may not have just sliced my leg open on the counter up here. It's okay. I've got, I'll be walking around like a cane with Jane Jarrett here pretty soon.
All right, well, we got a bleeder. As we get set now for B-Main action, it's going to be Shocker Hitch X-Mod B-Main action presented by Winning Edge Carburation. On the pole here in B-Main number 1, and this will be Dirt Pro Contracting B-Main number 1. It's Israel Ortega out of Las Cruces in the 23B. To his outside the 19 of Lucas Rodine out of Marion, North Dakota.
Row 2 on the inside from Lebo, Kansas. It'll be Jake